Yeah, where are you at in Montana? Missoula? Oh, nice.
Yep. So, Livesey
Yeah.
and Lindsay both.
I was gonna say my whole podcast has been Missoula. Maybe I should just move to Missoula, and be there with you guys.
You really should. Well, the running joke is though that we all go down to Expo to hang out.
Yeah, but you're all right there together.
Yeah, Mark and I live probably 15. Well, I live about 15 minutes from either Mark or Lindsay.
Wow.
And honestly, we usually only see each other at Expo.
That's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous.
Well, I was like, we need to go grab a beer. Then we're just like, hey, yeah, I agree, but
dude,
busy.
Mark, he told me on that podcast he hunted 127 days or something like that last year. It's like he's never in Missoula. He's always gone hunting.
Yeah, that dude.
He's ridiculous.
If I could hunt, I mean, right now I'm lucky if I get out 20 to 30 days a season.
Yeah.
If I could get out twice what I do, I'm still 50% less than what he is.
I've been trying to just extend my hunting. Historically, all growing up, it was always just the fall. I just hunted the fall because bear in Utah is again, impossible to get a permit. And so it was really, I had parts of September and October that I could hunt, and that was really it. And so now I'm trying to expand. Like this year, we're going to go to Canada in June, and going to go to Alaska, and just I'm trying to I get it. I'm not going to get a lot of tags in Utah, but I'm trying to just expand that hunting season just to get more days out there and not try to do it all at once too. I've still got a day job that I got to try and keep as well.
Yeah, that's my challenge. I lucked out with that Arizona draw.
Yeah.
Last year, and I lucked out with drawing. I drew it with 1 point, so that was. I've been putting in for 4 years, and last year, 2 years ago, I screwed up and I put a cow tag in as my second choice. Guess who donated $650 and a cow tag to a Veterans Foundation? This guy. So this year, because our plan last February, so about a year ago, actually, I think February 19th, we broke ground on the house that I'm sitting in currently.
Yeah.
So it's I got 1 point. I'm just going to put in, just buying the point. No way in heck I'm going to draw it. And sure as hell. Hey, honey, we need to have the house done by September.
That's when you're going to draw.
Going to Arizona. It was close. We could have moved in September, but it was not,
Oh,
made
yeah.
sense. We actually moved in right before Thanksgiving. So.
Oh, nice. So you guys are just getting settled then. You're not even settled yet.
You can see this is my office / my gear room. My wife would probably murder me a little bit, but
let's see
kind of see all of my gear stacked around.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
We still got the bed set up from we had all the in-laws here for Christmas. So
is that a mannequin behind you? I think I can see some boobs.
That's Karen.
Oh, sweet. Hello, Karen. Yeah.
So
she got a nice set there.
We have 2 mannequins, actually. One of them, the other one lives in Jed, my business partner's garage. That's Chesty.
No, oh, nice. Oh,
Chesty Fuller. Because Red Patch Outdoors is, Jed started the company. He's he's a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a mannequin from the guys over at Initial Ascent. Dennis, he's a good friend.
Oh,
of ours, and he's like, I got one that I just don't use anymore. You guys want it? Yes, because we make a 3-point bow sling. A bugle keeper, which
let's see some of those. Do you have some of those right here? Because I listened to the podcast, but let's go over, because I think a lot of my listeners may not know a lot about Red Patch Outdoors. So let's go over what you got.
Absolutely. So this is here. Let me grab the stuff off Karen real quick.
Do it.
We got a couple things. The thing that started the company, we call it the Big Three. One, it's our 3-point bow sling. So it's got 2 Velcro connections, quick connects. And then you got some Velcro. Goes around all the risers. Goes anywhere on your riser. You set it up, and then when you shoot to walk around, granted, we are developing a rifle attachment.
Oh, nice.
So you can use the same sling, and it'll basically be just 2 different connectors. Still the same buckle.
Just unbuckle it.
You just put the buckle on the buttstock and put the sling on. But granted,
it's hard to do it when you're wearing a headset too.
A headset, and although we do it with set up to work on your pack and everything. So it goes on, it'll go. You put your binaural harness on first, throw the sling over it, And then when you go to shoot, you just unbuckle the top buckle.
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
pull out.
Then it's all
So
free.
it rotates free around. That's what the shoulder pad does there.
Oh, dude, I gotta order me one of these. That's sweet.
But just come see us at Expo.
Dude, you know what
You'll
sucks?
be down there, won't you?
So my buddy and I, that he's always on the podcast with me in all my videos, his name's Chad.
Mm-hmm.
We take our wives to Mexico. We've been trying to do it like every other year, so we schedule it for this year. And we're like, oh, we're gonna miss the expo. It'll be the week before. We'll be fine. Nope. We'll be in Mexico that day, so I will not see you there. But
All right. No, yeah, hit us up. We'll get you some stuff.
Sweet. That is sweet, dude. I love that because that's been my biggest issue. And I've talked to a few people about carrying bows because bows suck. Like, so like, have you ever done total archery? Yeah, you guys have, because you were at the Mountain Archery Fest for the 360 Sportsman. Like, trying to do those, just trying to carry your bow all day long. At least when you're hunting, you can stop and put your bow down and it's not a big deal. But when you're carrying it all day long, like, man, it gets old. And so like, I've loved like that kind of stuff, to be able to hold on to that so it's carrying it for you is huge.
Well, and that's the bow sling. We designed it specifically to use while you're hunting.
Yeah.
So like, bow hitch, bow spider.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new magnet carrier out there. Like, everyone's got different opinions on them. And my personal opinion is bow slings suck.
Yeah.
I honestly, when Jed developed it, my business partner. So that's the thing about all this, is it's all of our ideas came from Jed, and we sewed them in his garage.
Nice.
The company is me and him.
Wow.
Basically. And we call him, he's research and development. I'm research and break it. So we always say that I'm Jed's biggest problem. And Jed likes to solve problems. So when we go hunting, it's always like, hey, can you hold my bow? Hey, can you hold my grunt tube? Hey, can you? Yeah. So he just started like, I can fix this so that he can actually hunt. So like the bow sling, we shot, my cousin shot a bull a couple years back, which kind of started the whole School of Hard Knocks program that we run. And we dropped our packs, but we're still able to just carry our bows with the slings, because it's entirely separate. You can run buck ass naked through the woods if you wanted to with your bow.
Yep.
With our sling. But then when we're packing out, once we finally found the bull, trekking poles, bow carried at the ready, because you're still in elk country, right? Like, we had a 3-mile pack out. I didn't have my bow because I was already tagged out, but the two guys that still had tags, bow at the ready, carry, trekking pole, you got a quarter on your back. That's the only difference.
Yep.
So it's like something steps out, click and boom, here you go. So it's been a lifesaver. I actually forgot it one day and I was like, oh my God.
It ruins your day, doesn't it? Like having to carry your bow all day long, it's miserable.
Well, and the nice thing about the quick connects, you just the reason I forgot it was in the truck because I did a road hunt. Just driving around and you don't want the extra strap, so you just unbuckle it and leave the Velcro on. And I forgot it. Damn it. But there's so many different uses for it. I call really heavy, which kind of
that's what I wanted to see. Like what how does that attach with the same sling?
Nope. So this is part 1. Part 2 is actually, I don't know how well you can see my pack back here. Do you see this belt connection piece I have?
Yeah, that goes right. Yeah, I can see it right around the hip belt.
Yeah, right next to my holster, and it's got a magnet on it.
Oh, no way.
So that magnet's on and off. It actually, originally we developed a magnetic koozie.
Oh, that'd be sweet too, dude.
We're sitting in Jed's garage, sitting there drinking with our koozies, trying to figure out, hey, because we just got done hunting, and literally at one point, because I mean, dude, I blow through like 12 diaphragms a year.
Yeah.
I bugle a lot, and I bugle aggressively. Like in my Arizona hunt, I ripped 3 Phelps pinks in 4 days. Jeez. Yeah, like I rip. I call.
Let's say which one. I've had this white one forever. Like I've had that thing for, I can't tell you how long I've had that. So I haven't ripped it. You must really get after it.
I got I only hunted archery in Montana for 2 days, and this is what my pink looks
like.
You
got to quit chewing on those things, man.
No, I can't. But so we're sitting there drinking with our koozies, and I look down at my koozie and I go, we can make this bigger to fit a grunt tube, right?
Yeah.
So basically, and now what we actually have is this actually does double as a koozie.
Yeah, because you could just wrap it around the drink.
Yep, it'll wrap all the way around. So we designed it so this is the Born and Raised bomb tube. It was the biggest one I could find on the market, and then Jed bought the Rocky Mountain, the little tiny metal one.
Yeah.
Same sleeve, fits both tubes.
Oh, dude, that's sweet.
So it will actually fit a White Claw too.
Nice. If you drink those kind of things, huh?
If you drink such things. I'm more of a Mike's Hard guy, but you know.
Oh, man, I would have thought you was a Bud Light guy. Come on now.
So then you got your magnetic koozie, as well as you throw it back on your grunt tube. And the magnet on it is actually strong enough. We used it during antelope season as a water bottle holder.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Like if like my Yeti that I carry around, like if I could just throw that on my hip, because it's hard to find something to put that in. In fact, I've got the Kuiu backpack, and I basically use the side pouch of my backpack to put that in. That would be sweet to have that free so I could put my tripod in it.
Yeah, so the belt connection piece, so everything just has a basic MOLLE webbing attachment.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's got buckles, so it'll go anything up to 2.5 inch webbing, or even just your normal belt. Like in Arizona, because you didn't really need to get off the road with a pack.
Right.
So I just put this on my belt.
Nice.
And all that does, so that magnet straight to it. One and done.
Wow. And that's strong enough to hold a bottle of water, bottle of water.
It'll hold a full, it'll hold it enough to walk around a little bit, but that's where we have the securing strap.
Little safety strap there. Yeah.
So that goes, and it's all designed to do with one hand.
But
then when you need it, you just pull.
Gotcha. Dude.
So it's
that is slick.
It's quieter than I'm going to be in the woods.
Right.
A lot of people are like, oh, it's going to make noise. It's like, if they can hear that, you shouldn't be bugling at that point.
Exactly.
You should be at draw.
Yep. You should have some socks on, and you should be close enough to shoot if you're that close. In fact, with elk hunting, for the most part, you're making a lot of noise until you get up there close to them. So who cares at that point, Yeah,
exactly. A little bit of noise. Breaking sticks actually helps call elk.
Exactly.
100% die on that hill.
I believe this exact same thing. You watch, like anybody, and I do it all the time too. If I'm out calling elk, I'm sitting there with a stick against a tree, raking, making a bunch of noise. So a little bit of noise isn't going to matter. And that's magnetic. It's not like it's going to be that loud. Come on now.
I don't even know if you can, I don't know if you can hear that through the mic at all, but that little, it's just the thalo HUD of the grunt tube.
Yeah. I can hear a tiny click is all I can hear. Dude, that is sweet.
Yep, so we got these in 3 colors.
And you guys sew those, you and Jed, you guys sew those things? You build them, sew them?
We actually found a gal in Utah.
Oh, okay.
That is now doing all of our production sewing because we're launching this.
Oh, yes.
At Hunt Expo.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because I've obviously been following on social media and wanted to kind of get some details. So, okay, I'm a pretty big bino harness guy. I've got a few of them. I got a stack of them over here. In fact, one of these days I want to do a video of comparing all of them to, so everybody can just see it. Yeah. So I'm kind of a stickler with some of my bino harnesses. So yeah, tell us about that one you guys coming out with.
So first I'll finish on the last of the big 3. It's our Call Keeper. It's just a MOLLE clip, holds 3 diaphragms. It will go, wherever you want to clip it.
Dang.
I could even clip it to my headphone.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be
everyone's
perfect.
like, oh, I need to hold 17 diaphragms. It's like, dude, I use 2 all
I was going to say, I got 2. That's all I do.
Yep.
2 of them.
You don't need a bunch. It clips anywhere. It holds them really well.
Dang.
So that's our big 3 package.
That'd be perfect for oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all products that the company was originally founded because Jed wanted to make bino harnesses.
Oh,
and we had 5 different iterations, including all panelized because he wanted a MOLLE system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he wanted options. We found one size fits all means one size fits nobody.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of our company motto and thought is, I'm going to tell you what I can do with it, and I'm not going to tell you what you can do with it.
Right.
We want to design everything that's as functional, versatile as possible, like the sling. We're going to make an attachment for a rifle. It does currently fit crossbows. You just have to reverse the fit a little bit. The grunt tube holder, use it however you want to. The call holder's kind of a one and done thing, but
yeah.
Like with the sling, I looked over one day at a 3D event. My brother's got his cam jammed into his hip, and the sling is holding his bow in a vertical position, and he's resting his binos on it, glassing. I'm like, how the hell did I not?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Why am I not doing that?
That's a great idea.
Like, it's just, everything is so versatile. Like, I even, I walk my dogs around with my over-unders, and I can actually set up with my little 28 gauge, strap a sling right behind the foregrip. And now I have a 3-point carry on my over-under shotgun.
Yeah, that's right. Dang.
So I don't have to carry. So we just make things that are versatile.
Yeah.
That's our goal, is like
you can kind of make it your own. You can take what it is and make it. I mean, just like the bugle tube holder. I mean, there's probably a lot of. I mean, I know we talked about drinks and bugle tubes, but there's probably a lot. I mean, it probably could hold a tripod. It could hold, probably a bunch of different things right there on your hip.
Anything that you needed to that was circular and 2-way. I think I could get another. We got at least another 1/2 inch bigger that you could go than this.
Yeah.
Which this is, I think that's like a 6-inch round.
But I mean, but even like I don't know where it's at, but like my little GoPro thing, like I'm always videoing, this video is my life. But even like my GoPro, like it's like, I don't know, about that big. So that would be perfect just to hold it right there, strap it in. It's magnetic right there, and you just grab it and video, put it right back down there.
Yep.
There's a lot of applications.
I tried to use it on a camera body, and I got nervous because we did upgrade. The gal that is doing our sewing actually she had these magnets custom made for something else that's a longer rectangular one. Our older iterations, which this is our old, this is the koozie, was the koozie. It had 2 single magnets in it.
Oh, gotcha.
So now we went to a bigger. This one's much stronger, and it makes me a little nervous putting near electronics.
Yeah, that's true. But that's the thing, like even like the GoPro, like it's just the handle of it. So my GoPro would still be up. In fact, you could almost even video having that thing stuck in right there. Just have it like, you could have it video in front of you while you pull back and shoot too.
The sky's the limit, and that's what we want to do. So
that's cool.
Our first bino harnessed iteration was actually Jed and I went and shot Mountain Archery Fest in 2020. The first one they had here in Montana. And he was in business school at the time. And he's, they had to do a senior project of a business or whatever. And he's like, so he bought a industrial sewing machine. And he showed up to MAF with a chest rig panel that had kind of a trapezoid,
like a
trapezoid pattern on it. Buckles, straps to go to the back, and then molly across the front. And then we were had individual pouches for a bino harness, for your bino, rangefinder, bear spray. At one point, it was cool. I got one. He showed up. I was like, where'd you get this thing? He's like, I made it. I was like, you made that? Where's mine? Like, so we started with this trapezoid pattern. We kind of went to market with it a little bit, nothing really major. It was, people could text us, or we had a website built. Wasn't super, Jed's brother did it for us for free. It wasn't
not super great. Professional.
Yeah. Now we are on Shopify, I did that. Shopify's amazing.
Yeah.
But it was all like custom order pieces, because if somebody ordered it, him and I were doing the sewing.
You're sewing it and putting it together. Yeah.
I'm a construction superintendent. He, at the time when he was in college, still had gaps between classes and stuff. Well, now he got his CPA.
Oh, okay.
So he's an audit accountant. He's currently flying back from Wisconsin after being there all week for an audit. So our time is like, we need to, goal is to outsource everything so that we can, go into the shows and stuff. Takes up a bunch of time, but we just can't. I don't have time to sew on top of everything else I do.
No, I don't have the skills to do that for one, but have the time to do it? No way.
Yeah, it's insane how much. Like our first hunt expo we went to was in 20. This is our third year. So 2022 was the first time we went to expo, and that we took the sling, the bugle keeper, and the call keeper, and then we also like displayed all of the pieces we had for like custom work.
Yeah.
And at that point, I kind of looked at Jed and was like, dude, we need to, because we had like 20 something pouches.
Jeez.
It's like, if this takes off, we have to build all these. I don't have time.
No, that would take a production company to be able to put that out.
So I was like, let's table the bino harness and we'll figure that out. Like, let's just keep developing, because we went from the trapezoid pattern to more of a rectangular pattern with the zipper along the back. Still, the same. It was just a panel, and then plug and play however you wanted to, because everyone wears theirs differently.
Right.
And then this last spring, actually, last winter, Jed was in his garage working out and just had a blast, because we were trying to find a way to keep, because I don't know, but my back hurts often. I played Division I football. I did all the rodeo cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
Mountain bike, whitewater kayak. If there's something fun and adrenaline outside, I've done it. So my body reflects that.
Attaboy. Me too.
But the typical bino harness has that X right in the middle in your back, and it drives you nuts. So the way you counteract that is more area, right?
More surface area. Yep.
More surface area, bigger dimensions to, absorb some of that weight. But then you get into a problem of heat. But we have, and you can kind of see, this is the back piece.
All breathable, all mesh.
Face. So it's a mesh. It's a mesh on the back.
Is it elastic, like stretchy?
Nope.
Okay.
It's
everything's
solid. Made out of 1000D Cordura. I'm not exactly sure what this webbing's made out of.
Okay.
But I mean,
nice. It's solid.
It's really strong. This is one of our demo pieces. I didn't quite get the webbing sunk into it, so we've addressed that problem. This was one of our betas.
Nice.
But this is the back piece, and so we have two models. One's the Orion, one's the Artemis. And the Orion has the bigger back piece, and the Artemis has a smaller back piece to fit women.
Gotcha.
Because what we found, so on the harness itself, so the harness comes. These are molly pouches.
So everything just mollies onto the main pouch.
Or you molly on the main pouch or wherever you want to. So we have. Take my rangefinder out of here so you can see it better. So there's molly on the side wings.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
Molly on the side of the pouch. Molly on the bottom of the pouch. And then we added, after beta testing, we added one strip of molly across here. So if you wanted to hang a holster.
A holster back there. Yep.
Hang a holster in the back, down below. Right now, Jed runs a 511 tactical holster with a molly connection. He can put it in like this, straight down. Off the bottom molly. So we still have all the same amount of molly attachments that our old design had. But notice the wings are still that mesh.
Yeah. So still breathable.
Still very breathable.
Your boobs aren't sweating.
And I'm glad you said boobs, because
I don't know what else to say.
Jed made this, and he made it for us, like 100%. This was kind of a happy accident with the Artemis. We designed this bino harness for us to use, for men to use. So the difference between the Artemis and the Orion is the back piece.
Gotcha.
So what we found, though, is we tried this on women. And the way that these wings are designed and developed is it actually lifts. And provides support. And it's not a rigid bino harness. So like the
it's pliable
gear, everything else, like I can crunch this up.
Nice.
There's nothing in there that holds that stiff, so that for those of us with bigger chests, it's not something else on top, right? Because we don't know what it's like to have water balloons out here, so something's doubling the distance.
Right.
This allows it to mold around, lifts, provides support. So Yeah, we have.
That's
As far as I know, we have the only bino harness on the market designed for women.
That's crazy that you're able to fold it up like that, but yet it still holds its shape. I mean, just the materials doing that, or do you have like structure pieces in there or is it just the way that it's sewn?
It's just the way it's sewn. It's 1000D Cordura with some mesh, spacer mesh inside for a little pocket. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, let me. Oh, okay.
We got a little pocket in here. We got a hook tab for binos, which in the new ones will actually have two connectors on the edges here. In the corners. So if you do run a lanyard on your binos, you can hook each side. Forward opening lid that's also it's magnetic close and magnetic open.
Nice.
So that's
close that thing up. But let's see how like when it's fully closed, how do you like does it stay like will it keep some dust out of there?
Oh yeah, it fully encloses.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Granted, this is
well, all of them are going to have that. So yeah.
Yeah, the production models, all these issues have been addressed that we found.
Nice. All right, my next question though is how big a bino can I put in that thing?
Right now, a buddy of mine that demoed it for us ran the Vortex, the UHDs, the big ones.
The 18s?
I think they're the 15s.
So they have 10, 12, and 18. So probably the 12s, I'm guessing.
He did a 12, but it was big. So because I run the Diamondback, are these the Diamondbacks? Yeah, I got the Diamondback 1250 HDs.
Okay.
Is what I run. And you can kind of see the space on that.
Oh, yeah, there's still some room to go there.
And we did actually the pouches are a little bigger.
Okay.
So we increased the size by a ½ inch all the way around and height to accommodate the UHDs. So it'll go, I'm trying to remember what the biggest size we had in there. I think somebody had a set of Swaros in there.
That's what I was just going to ask. Like the Swaro 15s?
Those ones fit no problem. They were a little tight on the lid,
which is okay.
Stretched the lid a little bit.
Yeah, I'm okay with that though. I'm okay if it's a little. In fact, I kind of like it that way. That way, they're not like bouncing around in the pack.
It's secure, and I mean that's.
Oh wow!
That's with the lid closed and my binos in there.
Nice.
And we were pretty strong on making sure that we kept these soft pouch sides.
Yeah.
Because when I walk around in the woods, I honestly never close my bino harness.
Me either.
I'm always checking. I put my wind checker right in here. But with the soft bag, you can get down to about. Let's see, when will these fall out?
Dang.
So I mean,
so you can be jumping around and doing some stuff, and it's not going to fall out.
Yeah, you can bend over, like you could stretch your hamstrings, put your hands on the floor, and then the binos might actually fall out depending on the size you have.
We're crawling under a fence like I was doing this year. Man, I was putting the bino harnesses through the test this year. I was dragging them through the dirt, literally. It was a bit rough. I get pretty rough on them, but man, I love that though. I love you can kind of it fits almost anything. Kind of going back to your conversation about like how you make it your own and make it fit for you. I also like how your reed holders on there too. That's sweet.
And that's again the Molly, because it all comes down to like I attach everything on the sides because that's just how I like it.
Me too. Yeah.
Jed goes to the wings.
See, I feel like it flaps too much getting out there. If I can keep it like on the harness itself, like I feel like, which I tested out a new one this year. It was the Striver Gear one.
Yep. I listened to that podcast the other day, actually.
You know what? I love. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I really liked it. Like it's super durable, and I like the system on it. But the problem is you can't put anything on the sides of it. You can put like your wind checker, like it's got little pockets there.
Yep.
But you can't actually like attach anything there. It was one of my biggest things.
Yep. So we have, and the nice thing too. So you see the back how it's just some quick connect buckles.
Yeah.
And then it's two separate pieces. So going to because we antelope hunt out here in August.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not packing a pack. I need water. I need my knife. So we have our admin pouch, which is a zipper pouch, Molly connection. Right now I got, Sharpie and some other random stuff in there.
Yeah.
The rangefinder is backwards opening, magnetic closure.
Okay.
It will almost fit the really big Maven.
Oh yeah.
Rangefinder, the R2, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's just a little tight for that. But everything else it fits no problem, just fine.
So it still fit the Razor 4000 in it then.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I got the Ranger 1800, which is
Okay.
a smaller one, but my brother's got my old Loophole,
Uh-huh.
and it's a bigger, blockier one, and it fits no problem.
Okay.
It also has a lanyard connection on the inside. The model I have has a piece of webbing here, but we changed that to cordage
Okay.
because a lot of the
So you just
connectors now have clips on them,
click it on. Yeah.
so that you can clip on it instead of having to fight the webbing material. And then we have a bear spray pouch that I don't know where my bear spray is right now because I moved. But
Ooh, that would come in handy.
same thing. It's same Molly connection. And what I liked about it was when I was, I shot a bull in Grizz Country.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're done hunting. I don't need my bino anymore. We're just packing out, right? It was a 2-trip. Get to the truck, drop the pack, drop the binos, everything. I pop my bear spray off and I strap it to my pack.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's all Molly.
It's just a Molly universal connection.
Yeah. Put it anywhere you want.
Exactly. Anywhere, whatever I want to do with it, I can. We actually ended up making, let's see if I can get that off, Malls.
You like that initial ascent?
Oh, I love the initial ascent. Dude. I will probably never put anything else on my bag.
I need to get Dennis I need to talk him into sending me one. I've been using my Kuiu one for so long, and I love it. I absolutely love that pack, but I talked to Dennis and they seem pretty amazing. God.
Let's see. I've done 310 pounds.
Jeez.
I took both hinds, all of my gear, the head, and the meat bag on a bull. I did that for about a half mile. Because we were, again, Grizz Country, and this bull died in a thicket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to leave it down in there.
We're getting away from the carcass, so it sucked.
I was gonna say,
do it,
bro. You must be you must be pretty. What do the gym guys call it? Swole. You're pretty swole to be able to do that.
I mean, I am 6'3", 250.
Yeah, that's nothing for you.
Montana. But so another piece that we're going to be launching here shortly, we just made this year, going back to not having places to put things.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Jacobson, actually, he tested these out for us a little bit this year, but he was struggling to find a spot to put that on the new Exo packs because they just have that Molly web panel, but then all of their hip pouches and stuff that they make take up the whole hip panel.
Mm-hmm.
So Jed's sat down and just sewed some hip belt pouches with Molly on the front and the back.
Yeah. So you just put it anywhere you want on it.
This can go there.
Oh man.
And it doesn't, a lot of people want to say, oh, it's another thing out there in front. Dude, I did 400 miles and I haven't lost my tube.
I was going to say, if it's right there, it's not like even if it came off somehow, it's not like you're not going to notice it.
It's not adding a whole bunch of, it's no more than my bino harness or anything else.
Right.
Adding additional in the way. So
right. Hey, that's a cool thing too. You could molly that thing to the bottom of your bino harness too, so your tube's right there.
Yeah.
Dude.
You can do whatever you want. But I ain't gonna tell you no.
That's crazy.
So it's been really nice to be able to just try to figure out how to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the original, what started this rabbit hole of the connection on this is we actually have a hydro bladder.
Oh, I was going to ask that actually.
You just click that in, becomes the back piece.
Okay.
And it has Molly on the back side of the hydro.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have, we call it the large zipper pouch.
Yeah.
A couple different size zipper pouches that you can just Molly on the back. So if you needed, you throw your water, we call it the Speed Goat package, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bino harness, the your rangefinder pouch, admin pouch, hydro bladder with a large zipper so that you can put, it'll fit game bags and some toilet paper and some snacks.
Gotcha.
Basically.
Gotcha.
Or if you're shooting a 3D shoot, you need water, you need arrows, you need snacks. Boom.
Well, that's even shed hunting. We do so much shed hunting. That's the perfect setup. Because I love having my binos even when I'm shed hunting, just because, I'll glass for sheds sometimes, but really just in case I see something. But to have a hydro bag on the back, be able to put some snacks back there, you're set for a good hike to go look for sheds too. So it really kind of accomplishes all areas.
So we're hoping to get those launched by middle of summer. That's what they're so right now, figuring out, how to best do it for production. And then same with the hip pouch. By the fall, we should have the hip pouch and the hydro available. This is the official launch of this is at Hunting Expo.
Okay, I was just gonna ask, is that going to be there? Like people can buy that at the expo?
Yep, at Expo. It's currently available for pre-order on our website.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to get into it, it is available for pre-order there. But the official launch is Hunt Expo,
which we're not very far away from that. I mean, that'll be here before we know it. Yeah. So, man, that's crazy. So I'm going to put you to the test here. You may know the answer, may not, but like, so can you talk some cost options here for me? Like can you go through like your big three and whatnot? Like what do those things cost just so my listeners know?
So the slings, regular price, they're $85.
Okay.
For the sling. We do show pricing. We basically knock like when we go to Utah, because we live in Montana, we don't have sales tax. So if you buy it at Expo, you're really getting it for like $20 off ish.
Yeah.
Because we don't charge you sales tax because I'm not going to do that math.
Right.
And then it's $80 for one at the show. But then if you buy more, like two is $150 for two of them. So $75 a piece.
Oh, okay.
Or if you buy three or more, then we knock it down to like 70. We had a group last year that I think they bought 10, so we did 60 a pop.
Well, that's the thing is usually when you go to those shows, you got to like, at least when I go, usually there's a herd of us going, 5, 6, 7 guys that they're there together. So you just buy them as a group.
Yep. And that's the nice thing about us being the owners. We're like,
yeah, we'll do whatever you want.
How many of them you want them?
Yeah.
I don't care what you're using to carry your bow. I just hope you're using something to carry your bow.
Exactly. So on the internet, if they go to the website, $85 for those on the website.
$85 plus shipping on the website.
Okay.
The Bugle Keeper is $50.
Okay.
And $5 off on shows. And
that's the attachment, like everything right there that you're showing.
Yeah, minus the tube. You don't get my tube.
Well, yeah. That's an additional.
That's a really nice tube. Yeah, this is everything that shows up as boom, 2 pieces. We have the 3 colors. We have Coyote, tan $4.99. We have Ranger green, and we have black. And the black is all, if it needs accents, it gets the black and tan accents.
Gotcha.
Because it's just so sexy.
Yeah, it is. It looks good. Looks good on anything.
Call Keeper's $25.
Okay.
Right now, the package that we're selling online for pre-order is the bino harness plus rangefinder and admin pouch. And I think it's $210.
$210. Okay, that's not bad.
For the 3 pouches.
Yeah.
For just so if you just want to buy the bino, I believe we're $155.
Okay.
155-ish. Don't exactly quote me on that.
That's what.
If you do show up at Expo and say that Ethan said this on the Ehuntr podcast, I obviously will,
They're gonna be like, I need it for $155, man.
That's just the bino.
Yeah.
These are going to be 40, 35, or 40, 40, and I think 35 for the bear spray.
Okay.
For the individual pouches.
And then do you have prices on the hydro pack yet, or not yet since it hasn't come out yet? Okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunately down the line still. We're still going to be shooting to be, competitive with between. We're going to be somewhere between the Badlands stuff and below. Kind of priced around at FHF.
Okay.
To be honest, being completely honest, the fish fish fight, whatever. I'm going to screw it up if I try to say it again. FHF gear.
Yeah. What the heck is it now? Now you're going to fish.
Fight hunt fish, or is it fish hunt fish?
I think it's fight hunt fish, isn't it?
It's owned by Meat Eater. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Holy crap. Can't even think about it. Or can't think of it. Jeez.
I know hunt's in the middle.
Yeah. We got the H down. That's all that really matters.
So our goal is to be price competitive with all the other modular systems out there. We are, in my opinion, we have more modularity than any other system on the market currently. T&K, I think, is a little close, but he doesn't have the wing attachments that we necessarily have.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I got to get my hands on that. I got to try that out. Like, I'm just thinking, like, so here in Utah, hopefully I get an archery tag again, but it's right in the middle of August, so it's hotter than Hades. So I'm sweating my butt off, and you put your bino harness system on, and it's just like a sweatsuit, like It's funny, like I'll come home from hunting and my wife can see like exactly where my bino harness was in the back and exactly where it was in the front because my man boobs are just sweating like crazy underneath that thing.
I definitely identify as a sweater. Yes. Everyone says they wanted a Christmas sweater, and I show up in a hat. They're like, that's not what I meant.
Give me a tank top.
So
that's sweet. How long you guys been doing Red Patch Outdoors? How long has it been total?
Jed, this will be our 5th year. Jed started it in 2020.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
I came on unofficially halfway through 2021 just because of, tax and accounting purposes. And then I became an official partner, co-owner in 2022. So we're 5 years in. This will be our 5th year. We've done, started with the products, right?
Right.
And we've always been big into the mentoring aspect of things. Like I am I think Taylor talked a little bit about the First Hunt Foundation.
Yeah.
I'm the Five Valley Chapters president for Missoula Valley. So my area of Montana, Western Montana, basically, I'm the chapter president for Western Montana.
Nice.
Of that foundation.
In fact, cool
it's just,
is it Rick? Is that his name that's over that?
Rich.
Cott? Yeah. In fact, I got him.
Rick lives in Idaho, and he's the president. Rich lives just up the road from me, about an hour and a half, and he does Connecting Heroes with Hunters as well.
Okay.
So he's kind of double. He's right now currently the interim state director because we don't have a state director for Montana at the moment. So he's kind of stepping into that role.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've got Rick coming on my podcast next week, so that'll be fun. Yeah. Yep.
No, he's a cool dude. The fact that he decided to start the First Hunt Foundation and all the quite frankly, there's a lot of benefits to it for being both a mentor and signing up as a mentee.
Yeah.
A lot of it's cost.
Yep.
There's some good deals through there. Just because nothing's getting cheaper to get into hunting.
Exactly. Well, that's what if you pair 360 Sportsman with them, like honestly, I think that's your best option to get into hunting as far as not just cost. I mean, cost is huge. So I think from a cost perspective, absolutely. But also, like, I feel like you're going to get the most or the biggest bang for your buck doing that because they're going to be able to not only do it for a reasonable cost, but then like they're going to set you up for success so that you can actually know what you're doing and be successful hunting. Because that's the last thing people want is to get into hunting and then never do it and get frustrated. Yeah.
It's not getting easier. So, with 360 Sportsman, my 2 courses that I have on there currently are the Intro to Bowhunting and the e-scouting course.
Yeah.
So the Intro to Bowhunting course started, Taylor hooked up with First Hunt Foundation at Expo last year, and we're literally driving down to Soldier Hollow Mountain Archery Fest. And Rich calls me. He's like, "Hey, when are you leaving for Soldier Hollow?" I was like, I left this morning at 6 a.m. Why? What's up?
4 hours ago.
He's like, "Hey, I'm going to send you this guy's contact. He reached out to us at Expo, and he wants to do some, like film footage and stuff. I think it'd be." So I called Taylor, and he, from that morning, we talked first thing that morning. The next morning, he's at Soldier Hollow at 6 a.m. with his camera.
Wow, dude, Taylor's legit, dude. He's all about it, man. Yeah,
boom, let's do it.
I love it about him.
So what he was there filming was a program that we started called the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
NOCKS, archery based. No affiliate with Knock on Archery
right.
Or Hard. It's not the Eminem, it's a hard knock life.
I say when I first thought, I was like, School of Knock. Didn't Dudley do something like that? But yeah,
School of Hard Knocks. Yeah. Because I've been a bow hunter for, I've owned a bow since I was 6.
Yeah.
What
are you, 25 now?
First deer when I was 12. I'm 35 this year. So I've been shooting for a long time.
Yeah.
And just hunting, in Montana, I am fortunate that my one tag gets me for both rifle and bow. So
yeah,
within the 360 Sportsman's platform, I'm more of the jack of all trades instructor, if you will. I'm really good at bow hunting and I'm really good at rifle hunting and I'm really good at identifying individual species. But when I go out hunting and what I'm most confident in teaching people how to hunt is we're going to go kill something.
Right.
Like the goal is meat.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if it's a deer tag, an elk tag, moose tag, whatever you're doing. Like obviously if I had a moose tag, then that's completely different focus, because I would love
that's
to.
once in a
think
lifetime
I'm still
thing.
like 20 years out from John and Montana moose.
Oh yeah, I'm going to Alaska this year to hunt moose because I'll never get a tag here in Utah. So I got to go to Alaska to do it.
That's going to be freaking awesome.
Oh, I cannot wait. It's a dream hunt, man. Absolute dream hunt.
I'm so jelly. I'm so jelly.
You should just come with us.
If my wife wouldn't leave, we're going to Ireland this summer for family vacation.
Dang.
So like my hunting this year between, my regular job, PTO, and then this big family vacation we're taking.
Yeah.
Because my wife went on me a little bit about, you did your big, I took 3 weeks off last year. I took all of September off.
You had to.
Yeah. I was like, I drew a dream tag. I'm going to Arizona.
Freak yeah.
And my wife went with me for the first week. She had fun. But she's like, you did that. Now we need to do something. Like, yes.
That's why I'm going to Mexico, brother. I completely feel you. Like I gotta take care of her first. That way when I leave to go to Alaska for 12 days straight, I think it's 12 days that we're gone. It's like, yeah, but I took you to Mexico, honey.
This is the time to kiss ass, hunters.
Exactly.
One thing you take away from this podcast today, listening to us just go down rabbit holes of take care of your significant other.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got to
on September or August. You don't want the honey. Here's your honey-do list. I need this all done by Monday.
Exactly.
But it's elk season. I don't care.
Man, I did a whole podcast. It wasn't a whole podcast, but my buddy Chad and I, we talked at lengths about that. Like, you got to take care of them and make sure that they're good. Otherwise, you'll never hunt a day in your life. It's just how it is, man.
Someone's got to be at home keeping the fires warm.
That's right. So, anyways,
I don't have kids. We have. You can see.
I was gonna say
here behind me.
I see him wandering there behind you. He's a good-looking pup.
It's Miss Molly.
Ah, yeah. She's a good dog, man. She's just so chill back there.
They're both sleepy right now. It's their midday napping time. I have a 13-year-old Vizsla too. He's passed out in the living room.
Gotcha.
Or no, he's 11, not 13.
How old's she?
So, we're guessing 7.
Okay.
So we rescue all the dogs. Makes it
chill.
Challenging for some type of consistency in bird hunting.
Yeah, that's true.
We do rescue. So
that's awesome.
We've had her for 14 months now.
Wow.
Over a year.
Dang, she's such a good dog. Just so chill. I've been watching her back there behind you this whole time, and man, she's just like as cool as a cucumber back there, just doing her thing.
She's the escape artist. She gets out like yesterday morning. Or last night I got home and I was literally getting dressed to go take the dogs on a 4-mile run because I have short hairs. They have to burn off energy, otherwise they're crazy.
Oh, for sure.
I let her out, put her e-collar on her, let her out the door, go to call her, and she's in my neighbor's yard. I have 4-foot box wire around my entire property.
Jeez.
I have no idea how she got it.
Let's say I don't think she'd clear that, and wouldn't even try it. Oh, can she?
She can. Oh, this
really?
Dog, freak athlete.
Man.
Yes, you.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, they're talking about me.
Look at me, I'm the Duchess.
Yeah.
Call her the Duchess.
Oh, so dude, going back to Sportsman 360. So you got those 2 courses that you're doing for Taylor. Yep. Oh no, finish your story. So he called you on the way down and said, let's do this.
Taylor shows up and was like, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. We got 2 people signed up for Soldier Hollow. Let's rock and roll. Rolled in. We started shooting. I just focused on teaching the course.
Mm-hmm.
It's a course that I've been teaching for 3 years at the time. And the course is basically hands-on. I'm assuming at this point you have, your bow's at least sighted in. You know how to shoot.
Yeah.
You may have been hunting a time or 2. And what encompasses the course, the School of Hard Knocks course, is the field day of training, and then we do a hunt plan with Onyx.
Mm-hmm.
We do e-scouting. So that's, the 2 courses I have online is the field day basically. And then I'm sitting at home saving miles on my feet, e-scouting.
Mm-hmm.
But so Taylor shows in, we roll through the course. One of the guys, Casey, I've actually been chatting with both of them today. His wife is like 8 months pregnant.
Oh, jeez.
And she's there with him. Kevin, the other guy, he just had a baby. His daughter's like 2 months old, and he rolls in. His wife, they stayed at the camper. But Casey and Lexi, she goes out, and she had way better questions than they did. I love having her there. She's like, you are a godsend for this right now. I love you so much. I just met you, and my God, you are pregnant as hell. But thank you for suffering through this.
She hiked all around. Like, she hiked the whole thing with you. Like, went everywhere with you guys.
Course. Yep, full course.
Wow.
Yep, we did I don't know if you've shot Mountain Archery Fest before.
Yeah.
Right, at Soldier Hollow.
Yep. Yeah. Which course did you guys do?
We did the competition course is the one that we did it on. So I think it's the Western course.
Yep.
That they had it as this year. 2 years ago, I think it was the adaptive course. It's the one off to the left.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's like 25, 30 targets. The competition rings this year were interesting there because it's a lot of the actual where you're supposed to have, your entrance and exit holes. Which is when we were going to shoot, when I shot the course with the guys for the School of Hard Knocks, I told them, we're not shooting score rings. We're going to shoot body position.
Yeah, to kill an animal.
Entrance, exit holes. This is where you need to hit. And I have a story that, the reason I started the School of Hard Knocks was actually the season of 2021, I believe it was, that elk season, 2021 or 2022. I can't exactly remember. But we went out. I actually had to miss the opening weekend of archery that year. First time I've missed opening season since college because my wife's best friend's getting married. So,
oh well, got to make her happy. Yeah.
My wife was the only non-family member in the bridal party.
Wow.
I do they've been friends forever. I love that family. They're a riot. And this was actually 2022 because our second wedding, because my wife and I got married back in COVID, so we had a small gathering.
And then had a real wedding.
We had 150 people out here at the barn and had a just party. But so we'll go out the next weekend to a spot we normally hunt and call on this little raghorn. Didn't really call it. I called him out of his bed. He came through some thick stuff, hung up at, he kind of hung up breaking this tree. Cal called him in. As it drawed, I had leaned to get away from this pine tree, just a lodgepole going up. I had like a foot clearance. I thought I was golden. He's at 40, pin right behind his shoulder, break the shot loose, feels great. And he whirled, I just hear crack. And he wheels, and he's standing at this tree I had ranged at 50, and he's like hard quartering away from me. It's I basically butt shot it. That's how steep he is away from me. And I'm like, yes, he's going to go down right there. Must, good heart shot. He's going to go down, and he's not going down, and he's not going down. And I'm like, you know what?
Put another one in.
And, at that angle, it was
so
basically,
hard.
I came in right in front of his back hip.
Yeah.
And I found that QAD Exodus and is sticking out of his front shoulder.
Perfect shot.
He made like another 20 yards piled up.
Wow.
So, extreme shot angles. So then the next weekend we go out, and this is my cousin's bull, the only bull he's shot to date. Nice, 6 point, 260-ish 6 point, which is a good public land bull.
Oh yeah,
for Montana. Yeah. And we call in. We had Jed's brother-in-law with us actually, and we were 3 miles up the road and working this ridge. Like we get to this cut on the road where there's 2 big basins up above us. I'm like, there's got to be an elk in here.
Yeah,
just
for
nothing's talking right now. They're not. I'm not going to make cow noises. I'm just going to set up. I'm going to rake, and I'm going to make just annoyed, young, pissed off bull. I'm just down here. Someone come put me in my place. And we set up for like 35 minutes. But I had Jed down. Jed originally he was down in the bottom of the road, but then he worked his way up around the point, and actually heard another bull that we couldn't hear that was answering me. But that bull never gave him a shot. And then my cousin was about 100 yards down the road from me, and I had Jed's brother-in-law with me because it was his first real like elk hunt. And I was like, I don't have my bow because I tagged out. I'm not going to pack my bow.
Right.
So have a shooter with the caller, because typically the way I call even for other people is I'm trying to get myself a shot, but I've set them up that if I get the shot, it's because they missed or the bull did something where, you know, I'm pulling them through my hunter, no matter what.
Yeah.
And finally this bull chuckles off at us, and I cut him off, and from the time he chuckled to the time we shot him was about 5 minutes.
Jeez.
He came in hot to trot, just sounded like a tractor coming down the hill.
Yeah.
It's super steep.
Hitting every tree as he goes by.
Yeah. It just deadfall, city is just like, yep, nope, here he comes. And so we're standing on a road, and it's like the bull came out at 19 yards from my cousin.
Jeez.
And a lot of that was in, elevation.
Yeah.
Just because it's like a 20-foot tall, 30-foot tall berm on the side of the road there where we were standing. And bull comes frontal out to him, and it's too steep of an angle for a frontal shot in that position, just because you have too much brisket down here protecting the thoracic cavity. And bull's at 44 yards from us broadside, and Noah's already at draw. And I'm like, just wait. It's not a great shot for you. You need to be, he's going to come closer. Let's just don't shoot yet. Don't shoot yet. And I turned my head and I cow called. And when I did that, the bull turned and went broadside to my cousin, and then took, like Jared shoots and the bull takes like 2 steps. So I didn't hear him hit him, or I didn't really notice. I just heard commotion because I just turned my head to call. The bull runs in front of us and stops. And he's 22 yards from us. And I have this window of 2 big trees. I'm like, as soon as he steps forward, one more step, Noah, bury that
right
pin
there.
and kill this bull. Like, can't see anything else. Like, all I can see is his head. And Jared's like kind of coming towards us, but I'm paying attention here, like side-eyeing to Jared. And he's doing, I'm like, I don't know what this means. I found out because as soon as the bull, instead of stepping forward, side passes and turns straight up the hill.
Oh, geez. So he's like trying to tell you he's going up?
No, he's trying to tell me to shoot him.
Oh. See, I still didn't know what he was saying.
And back here, because when the bull stepped forward, it turned into a quartering away shot. Jared's buried to the fletchings in the back ribs. So it's
perfect.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Like, he's in there. He's got one arrow, and our standing rule is blood drawn, keep drawing.
Yep.
Put as many arrows in a bull as you can.
Yep.
And I'm looking at Noah, I'm like, shoot him in the ass. Shoot him in the
somewhere.
ass.
Yeah, get another bullet in him, or another arrow in him.
Brand new hunter at draw, looking at me, going, "What?
Yeah.
What do you mean, shoot him in the ass?" Like, there's another. But long story short, it took us 6 hours to find that bull.
Wow.
He uphill shot, down, quartering away angle, going uphill. As long as he was traveling uphill, we had blood flow because we only had one hole.
Yeah, he's pushing it out that entrance hole.
He deadfalled himself out and turned and backtracked and came down around the point.
Oh, geez.
But as soon as he turned down and around, the blood just started flowing into the front of his cavity. It never left his body. We were within 10 yards of him 6 times. Looking back at our tracks on Onyx, where Jared finally found him because he jumped up on a log and looked around and saw a leg.
Oh my god!
He fell in a tree well.
Wow!
Like 6.5 hours later, like we went and started chasing other elk and just left Jared there to keep grid searching that hill.
That's crazy.
And
you would think coming in right there would he's done, because it's going to come right through all the vitals, stuck in there. Plus, it's making a mess. From the shot to where we found him was about 60 yards. Wow.
We trailed him.
So he was dead within minutes,
hill,
honestly.
And then he made it from there down around, like, total travel, he traveled like 200 yards. That's it.
Wow.
And we just could not find him for the life of us because we ran out of blood.
Yeah. That's the hard thing, though. You lose that blood. I mean, I had that experience this year with the deer. You lose that blood, man. It's pretty much impossible. I mean, hard
pack surface.
Yeah.
You don't have soft ground for tracks. You just can't. It's a sun-baked ridgeline.
Yeah.
Basically, is what you're trying to track on.
And the problem is, you can grid with OnX. And I've done that. I'll sit there and just grid, and I'll look at it and be like, okay, I've hit every single spot of this. But like in that situation, I mean, you know, go
little square.
Exactly. It's that little square. You go out and it's easy for an animal to get outside of that little square that you're going to grid. Like it's
I mean,
a
even
sick
your
feeling.
squares between your grid. Like he literally
True.
we had tracks
all
we
around
had a
him.
square of about 15, 20 yards around this bull. And like, God, I can smell him.
Yeah.
I can just, where is this? Where is he?
Yeah.
And he was laying there, but so we had that.
I mean, you got to take that shot though, honestly, on that, when he's quartering away like that. And I mean,
19 yards
with
the Matthews VXR with a 460 grain arrow going 280, 88, I think is what his is going with a Q80 Exodus on front.
You take that shot. Yeah, 100%. Well, and obviously it worked. I mean, he didn't go far. It was just a matter of how long it took to find him because of it's just situational more than anything. You know, it's not a matter of that he lived forever and suffered or anything like that. It's just situational that he got into a spot you couldn't find.
That second shot, blood trail.
Yeah.
You got a hole. You need more holes.
Yep. I'm a total believer in that. Like when I used to not be. In fact, on deer, I'm still kind of, I'll put one arrow in them and it's good. But and actually after this year, I'll never do that again. But yeah, I'm a total believer. If you get an arrow in them, put another one in. Put as many as you can. I mean, that's old Native American rule right there. They believe in just get as many in there as you can. It's more opportunities for blood to come out.
Especially with archery. Like archery kills from blood loss.
Yep.
You need to cut. You need to slice. You need to lose blood.
And it's not
rifle. I'm a little hesitant on rifle to keep shooting.
Right.
On elk, I'll shoot brown till it's down.
Right.
Deer, if I don't shoot him in the head, it's one behind the shoulder. Yep, impact. He's done. I'm not ruining the rest of that meat because there's not a ton of meat in there.
See, that's the issue with rifle is you can ruin a lot of meat. Yeah, that bloodshot, it goes so far where with an arrow, you're not going to lose that much meat even if you hit it somewhere. Especially on an elk, if you hit it in like you said, shoot it in the hind quarter. Even if you hit it there, it's not going to lose that much. Meat.
You'll have a hole like this going through his back end. That's it.
Exactly. Not a big deal.
But you gain blood.
Yeah, exactly. You got another hole that the blood can come out of that you can help find that animal. Yeah, it used to not be that way, but now I'm a total believer in doing that.
Yep. So then, we get him all packed, and that's where I did 170 pounds on the initial scent pack, 3.5 miles.
Geez.
Hung both front shoulders off the frame, and I carried the head out with all my gear 3.5 miles. Man, and we went out the next morning. Like I could still hike and be comfortable.
Shoulders weren't completely gone. The hips weren't gone. You're still able to go.
Jed and Jared both had Mystery Ranch Pintlers.
Because
that's what we all were running because I got one.
That's what all my buddies
like, oh, this is a really nice pack.
Yeah.
And then I got the initial ascent, and they both were like, now they both have initial ascent packs.
Well, I did a podcast with Dennis, and he's like, dude, you don't understand. And so then, and that's before I ever met him in person. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll believe you, buddy, because it's your brand. I'll support that. And then I went down to went to the expo and talked to him there, and he loaded, got me all set up and loaded me down.
Pounds, and you're just like, huh?
Yeah, just like this is easy, honestly, which is just nuts with a backpack.
It's heavy, but it's not terrible.
It's heavy, but you can do it. And the thing about it is, it puts the weight in the right spots. Some of those lower end backpacks, it just weighs down on your shoulders. Like it does not, what's the word I'm trying to use? Like
pinches.
Well, it like spreads out. Like it spreads out. Like the initial ascent, like it spreads out. Yeah.
It's correctly distributed.
That's That's where I was trying to think of. Yeah. Evenly distributes the weight across a bunch of different points so that it's manageable. Yeah. It still sucks carrying 150 pounds, but and 170, especially elk, because they're so awkward too. Like trying to get that.
Yeah. It's like, man, if this bull was any bigger, this head would really suck.
That's awesome.
So then the next weekend, my brother, who he's recently just gotten back into hunting. He used to be a Bering Sea fisherman, so he's always gone. And then he's like, I want to, hang out with you guys. I want to go hunting, blah, blah, blah. So we got him a bow, got him into it. And I take him out. He had gone with my cousin opening weekend, and then he just had family stuff where he couldn't make, the trips we were on. So he's like, hey, I can get out next Sunday. And this is Monday after we get back, and he sees Jared's bull. So, he saw me kill a bull.
Yeah.
He saw Jared kill a bull the next weekend. He's like, my turn. I want to shoot a bull. I was like,
let's go.
We'll go to this spot that it's, within an hour. It's closer to town because he's got new kids. But at the time, my niece was like No, his wife was still like she's eminently pregnant. She's at the end. So we were trying to stay close to town. We dropped into this spot, and we get to the back, and we're hunting the backside of a property boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to the top of the hill. I drop my pack and I rip off a locate bugle, and boom, 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 just 4 bulls right off the bat. I'm like,
let's
that
go.
one's the closest, and he's the biggest. We're gonna go kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Drop down to the road, loop around, and I take the error for not killing the big bull. I set him up in the wrong spot.
Oh.
The road made like a hairpin turn, and there's just this thick wall of scree, like willow trees and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I can just do everything I need to over here. Elliot, get 30 yards from the corner, so when he comes down,
perfect
boom,
shot.
Sink him in the corner. Because at the time, his bow had a 3-pin slider. So he was set 30, 40, 50.
Okay.
Instead of doing 20, 30, 40, because the difference between 30 and 20 is about this much.
Right.
And then 50s, at the time, it's like, you really don't need to be shooting. Let's not worry about that. If you can, maybe we can dial.
Mm-hmm.
So
50 is about as far as you want to go.
You cut out there.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say 50 is about as far as he wants to go anyways on that. So if he's set up at that, he's pretty well set up that whatever he sees, he's going to be able to shoot.
Get a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the 2-hour screaming match that I had with this bull, we're both raking, and I can just hear I can hear the spit coming out of his mouth, and he's just the other side. 2 hours later, finally, I could hear him move off. I'm like, okay, we need to move forward. 44 yards from the corner, this pine tree is just demolished. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'm like, it's all right. I know they go up and they bed on. There's the property boundary runs up this ridge.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he's just on the other side. They bed in there. I know exactly where they bed. Let's just go sit on the property boundary, and I'm gonna call for the next 2 hours. I'm just gonna go annoy this bull to where he comes back to kick my ass. That's my goal. Let's just go be annoying. And we're working down the road, and I look up, and Elliot goes, bull, and we see a raghorn. Raghorn 6 or raghorn 5. We see a bull.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, wind's good. We're walking on the road. He's slightly downhill from the road from us.
Oh, geez.
Broadside grazing.
He wants to die.
We put this big pine tree between us and him, and walked right down the road to him. And I step out. We're using, because it's old logging road, right? So that you got about 3 foot of grass on the side.
And
we have that nice angle down. And I'm looking over, and I go, I can see the bull's back, about this much of his back above the grass, and his head's on the right. And I'm literally right behind Elliot, because I was tapping him.
Yeah.
He would be looking at the ground where to step, and I'd be watching the bull and be like, okay, his head's down, move, stop, move, stop. And we get to a spot, and the grass is a little thinner, and I kind of like, dude, he's at 50 broadside. You're not splitting a pin.
Perfect.
This is money.
Draw
back and shoot this bull. He goes, I think I can get closer. His shot.
Yeah.
His shot. My bow's on my side. I'm like, it's your shot. I get it. Let's try it. Whatever. We'll try it. He didn't feel comfortable floating his pin through the grass.
Oh.
He couldn't see where he wanted to aim, so he didn't feel comfortable taking that shot.
You know what? That's part of it, though. You got to be comfortable with that every shot you take, especially on an animal. I mean, if you're not comfortable with that shot, don't take it.
It's not my shot to tell you.
Exactly.
That's this whole part of the new thing about being a hunter is, I can take the shot. You can, but should you?
Yeah, I mean, that goes with rifles too, with the turrets and whatnot. Can you shoot 1,700 yards? I can, absolutely. Should I do that on an animal? No, absolutely not.
First off, I don't want to go verify a hit or miss at that distance.
Exactly.
I'm lazy.
I don't want to walk that far.
I'm not walking that far. Unless he's standing on the road on the way out.
And you're probably going to miss.
Yeah. So he gets in, and we get to 19 yards on this bull. We finally get to the edge of the grass. We are out of cover.
Dude.
He's still hunched down, and he flips his bow up to draw, and the bull barks and whirls because he sees that limb come up.
Yep.
Right? So I just scream at this bull. He didn't wind us. He just saw the motion and it freaked him out.
Yep.
I stop him and I range him. Elliot, he's at 60, top of his back, 60, top of his back, 60, top of his back.
Yep.
And he cuts loose and this bull whirls and he spins and I just scream at him again and I stop him again. Elliot, 65. I dial. I come to draw. I'm like, dude, I don't see blood or an arrow sticking out of him. You need to shoot him again. I cannot, like, I pack my bow for backup.
Right.
I can't. My tag's filled.
Right.
I can't shoot unless I see blood. I can't shoot.
Yep.
And he, Elliot finally, like, he gets drawn. Lost in it. Like,
I was gonna say he's probably a mess in his head right now too.
This is his second day elk hunting.
Oh man.
Bow hunting elk. Second day bow hunting elk.
Man.
And he, finally, the bull starts walking off, and so we're running down the road still, like chasing him, and he's 45. I'm like, stop. Still, clean side. It's like, I just need you to give us 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like just
let us throw it.
Just stop, man. Come on. And he finally stops. I'm like, 55. Okay, but there's like, he's just the other side of this big pine tree in the boughs. I'm like, that drop in is just, it's not a good spot. We don't have a shot. And he starts doing this stuff. And he starts going sideways.
No way. Over. No way.
Like, I look at Elliot and I go, elk hunting is usually a lot harder than this.
Yeah, you got to be freaking kidding me. He smoked it at 65.
Just wait.
Dude.
So, like, I was like, yeah, I see this bull tip over, foresight, all 4 feet fly out.
Yeah.
Like, that's a dead elk. I literally, turn around and go, we need to go grab all my shit. Because I'm just like, I yard sailed it running after this bull. He's calling his wife, just shot a bull. It's awesome. I'm calling Jared. Dude, hey, we're at the backside of Raghorn. You know where we park. You need to come help pack out. Like, Elliot shot a bull. Like, this is amazing. No way in hell, but this is amazing. So we go grab our stuff. I'm like, he's calling his wife. And so then it's like, all right, well, let's go find where you hit him. And we're looking and we get, I'm standing in his tracks and I'm going, dude, at that distance with your setup, this arrow should be like right there.
Yeah.
I don't see any hair and I don't see any blood and I don't see any arrow. I'm like, okay, well, weird. Maybe when he whirled, maybe it like went frontal.
Yeah.
Maybe like, maybe something weird happened. Because, I never saw anything on his sides because I saw both of his sides. So I never saw anything on the sides.
Uh-huh.
Like, let's go to the next spot. And I'm standing there and I'm like, we didn't shoot at this when he was at this spot. But again, there's no blood, there's no hair. And you could see his tracks down this trail. So we're walking down the trail. 30 yards from where the bull was standing, I find his arrow. Buried 8 inches deep in the soil.
What?
At that point, I go, what the f***? And I look up and the bull's gone.
No.
He's out. So we were hunting the backside of a ranch, right? The old barbed wire fence had fallen down and got covered in pine needles. He tripped on barbed wire.
No way.
We scared the shit out of him so much that he tripped and fell over. If we would have paid attention for
watched him
20 seconds longer, just like, hey, let's go verify he is actually dead. He would have stood up and it would have been like a 40-yard chip shot.
Yeah.
Why did we not? I was like, oh, this is great. Third bull. Man, I really need to get new knives. Like, I just completely mentally checked out.
You go into care mode at that point. Like, I got to go care for this animal. I got to go take care of it and do all this. I got to go get my pack. And
we're 3 miles from the truck. Like, it's going to get hot. What do we do? Just like, you kidding me?
Dude.
So then, after that season and through that winter, I started thinking, it's like, man, that's kind of if there was 3 hunts that encapsulate some really hard lessons learned.
Yeah.
Of, shot preparedness, tracking angles, anything and everything, right?
Yeah.
Those 3 elk hunts is like, I called Jed, is like, hey, I have an idea. what if we did this? And we started the School of Hard Knocks, and it is a bow hunting training course. And at the time, we were still going to Mountain Archery Fest as a vendor. And I called Brandon, and he's like, "Yeah, no, sounds good." So we hosted it at Mountain Archery Fest for 2 years. I don't know what's happening this year with it. We may try to do a. Have you heard of Rockman Games?
Yeah. Yep.
We went to that last year as a vendor.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to talk to the other Brandon at Expo and see if we can't do a day there, because they're actually doing night shoots this year at Rockman.
Oh, really?
Because they have that hill has all the ski lights.
I see. I've never done Rockman before, so that would be awesome. A night shoot.
Because last year when we were there, because the way they said they don't shoot on Sunday because it's
right.
In the middle of Sundays are a non-work day type deal.
Yeah.
So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but nobody shows up until after work.
Yeah. I'll say Wednesday, Thursday would be
Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it, and I was like, dude, night shooting would be so freaking. Luminox the sponsor of them and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So
that'd be sweet. Yeah, sign me up. I would do that in a heartbeat.
So I'm hoping I can convince them to be like, hey, let me do some School of Hard Knocks stuff during the day.
Yeah.
Because the targets are already set, courses are up. We're not going to be in anybody's way.
Right.
Or, do some educational, do some training stuff. But then to go shoot at night, I am so stoked for that. Like, it's going to be a blast.
Where's that at? Which ski resort is that?
It's at Ryrie. I forget the ski resort's name, but it's in Ryrie, Idaho. Or is it Rigby? Ryrie.
Rigby's Idaho. Yeah, is it Rigby, Idaho?
No, it's Ryrie. It's just south of. It's 4.5 hours from Missoula. It's east of Idaho Falls.
Sure enough, Ryrie. Ririe. Ryrie, Idaho. Interesting. I've never even heard of that place in my life. Holy cow.
Super fun event. So hoping we can host that field day there. But that's what started the whole School of Hard Knocks, really hardcore into the educational component. And, to be completely candid, I'm not, 360 Sportsman, we just had brought on a new instructor. I don't know if anyone knows Tom from Stuck in the Rut.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be awesome.
He's doing the mule deer course.
Yeah.
He's tied in his mule deer course. And it is no secret that hunting, you're more successful the more days you can put in.
Yeah.
So I'm not a professional hunter. I'm a professional weekender.
Right.
You know what I mean? I fit my hunting into the rest of my life. So the way I instruct and the way I teach and the way I mentor is always, you can do it by all means. If you have the ability to do that, yes. But for the other 95% of the population that have limited days, etc., let's focus on making you as efficient as possible and show you tips and tricks on how, ever since I got out of college, I've been putting 5 to 6 animals in the ground every year.
Right.
Like I kill a lot. And
that's what most hunters want to know. Like, I mean, coming with that, you're going to get the experiences, because a lot of people say, well, I just want to hunt for the adventures and the experiences. Well, but part of that is harvesting an animal. And so, but the biggest reason that people want to do, they want that success. I mean, I don't play a baseball game or anything like that, or a golf game, without wanting to win. I want to win. I want that part of it. And that's a win when we're hunting, is harvesting that animal. And so someone that wants to get into this, to be able to harvest that animal and get that win, like, how cool is that? And be able to learn, like I said, from you guys at 360, from 360 Sportsman, be able to do it, to be able to go out in the field and do it. Like, I mean, that's going to set people up for so much more success than they would have had any other way with hunting. Because I
was actually chatting with Kevin today. So Kevin is the young guy without the pregnant wife.
Okay.
He just had the daughter. He's in Utah, and he was doing over-the-counter mule deer.
Uh-huh.
And I get this text.
Oh, nice. Yes.
In August.
Yes.
I'm out antelope hunting. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
So he started bow hunting 2 years ago.
Wow.
And first year he went out, tried to do it all himself. he learned a lot of hard lessons. He had some hard knocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he saw our course come up, signed up for Soldier Hollow, and the beautiful thing about, and we transferred that over from the School of Hard Knocks program that we do into 360 Sportsman as well, is we're there.
Yeah.
Text us, message us.
Yep. You're real
call
people.
us. So, like, yeah, we want to be there to help mentor you, to
Yeah.
help, because it's not just a one and done. Here's the video, go do your stuff. It's the only way you learn how to hunt is to go hunt.
Right.
And I can guarantee you, I'm not done learning yet.
No.
The day, I say this in work all the time, the day I quit learning is the day I retire.
Yep.
Because if I know everything, then why am I here?
But that's the beautiful thing about it, though, but the hard part. I mean, sorry. Let me finish that thought. The beautiful thing about it is you are always learning. There is always something to learn, and that's what's cool about 360 Sportsman is, yeah, you can be a new hunter and get in it, but you don't have to be a new hunter to learn something from 360 Sportsman. I mean, there's so many different things that you can learn. I mean, honestly, I'm the same as you. I've been archery hunting since I was just a little kid, and I've absolutely loved it. Been very successful with it. But there's still more that I can learn, and that's the awesome thing about it.
Well, and there's different techniques, right? Too. Like, I've killed a couple 150, 160-inch mule deer. Tom does it every single year because he really loves hunting mule deer. Honestly, I'd rather go shoot whitetail.
Mm-hmm.
I think they taste better.
Yeah.
That's what drives me is food.
Yeah.
So he'll go out and he'll be successful in big mule deer. I got my brother late season this year. We got him 140-inch mule deer. It's his first buck since we were kids, and he gets to shoot this great mule deer. Now, granted, we were out there elk hunting,
mm-hmm.
but hey, late season elk and high country mule deer are basically the same thing.
I was going to say, same hunt, and it's a lot of fun. Either one you get to take at that point.
Yeah, you just learn so many different techniques of, I still learn. I learn from Jed every day. I learn from teaching people too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
taking out a 13-year-old kid this year, and Grayson did a great job. Oh, there's the old man.
Oh, there he is. I saw you. I could see you petting him over there, but I got my faces in the way, so I couldn't see him over there. He's giving you the glory shot there too. It's great.
That's copper. But taking a 13-year-old out, because like when we have the group of 4 of us that hunt, Jared, my cousin, my brother, and Jed. We've been doing it for years, so we just have like boom, 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 boom. We just go.
Yep.
And now this year, when I took my brother out and we got him that buck, we had well, no, that wasn't with buck, but last day of the season we had an older friend of mine from work who is recently getting back into hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of, he never had, this year he killed both 2 animals. One was with me, one was earlier this year during archery season. Those are the first 2 animals he's killed since he was 12.
Wow. Welcome back to hunting, buddy. Holy moly.
Yeah, welcome back to hunting, and a 13-year-old boy. So it's like,
oh man,
having to think, expand my thinking of, okay, how are we just go do this.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Oh, what does that actually mean? Do
right.
you actually want to do that?
It's just stuff that you do, though. Like that. And my son is 13. I took him out hunting as well. In fact, he killed his first deer this year. The same thing, though. It's like you got to change how you think, because a lot of the stuff. Well, again, I've been doing it for 25 years. I just do
second
it.
Nature.
It's exactly second nature. You just do it. It's not that way, for them that's just getting into it, whether it's a 13-year-old boy or whether it's a 40-year-old man that's never done it or hasn't done it since he was 12. Still got to, it's a completely different approach with those kind of people.
Yep. And so you get better, you learn from everybody, and you just need to constantly be learning from everybody. Teaching techniques like we did. Great. Taylor. I have so many different names running through my head right now. Taylor came out for the Montana has a youth hunt. So 2 days before, this year it was actually 2 days during the end of archery season that the youth can go out and shoot deer only with rifles. So it's a Thursday, Friday, because it ties to the state has a national statewide teacher convention those 2 days in October. So that they're shutting the schools down. So they turned it into a 2-day deer hunt.
Oh, gotcha. Sweet.
So it's really cool. So that way, that's parents can take it off. They're not trying to find, they're not trying to find a bunch of subs for teachers at schools, or parents are they can plan it as a hunting day to go hunt with my kids.
Dude, that's how every state and school district should be. Is just let's plan some vacations around hunting.
Dude, when I lived in Wyoming,
Uh-huh.
Growing up as a kid, because we lived in Wyoming until 98, and then I moved up here. So I never actually got to hunt Wyoming as a resident. I still don't think I ever will, but we got 2 weeks off.
For hunting?
It was hunting vacation.
Wow.
They shut, because General Rifle up there, it was 5 days or 7 days for deer, or it was 7 days for elk, 7 days for deer, sandwiched right back to back. This was back in the 90s. That's just what I remember. It may have been different. Don't quote me. That's just it was
just how you remember it. Yeah.
Schools were shut down. We saw everybody we saw at school at hunting camp.
Yeah.
Like we all everyone's parked up in the woods.
Yeah.
Just let's go hunting. And it was so awesome.
Guys
to live in the woods for 2 weeks.
You guys got 2 weeks. Like I remember when I was a kid, I can't remember what they call it, whether it was fall break. I think they had like a word, like a acronym like UEA or something like that for it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think we got like 3 days or 2 days, something like that.
Weekend, basically.
Yeah, it was basically a long weekend is what we got. Yeah, like a Friday and a Monday or something like that. So that's all we ever got, even when I was a kid. So 2 weeks, dude. We need to get back to that. We need to send a petition to Trump and have him add that just back for everybody.
Let's figure out all the other. Let's figure out the public land access first before we go and hammer everything,
dude. There's so much that has to be done. It's honestly unreal.
Did you see Wyoming they have put forth legislation to legalize corner crossing?
So I did actually see that, which
that would be huge.
I think that needs to be nationwide, honestly. I think
that they're going to set the precedent. So once it's set, establishes a state law, what's going to happen, and I've listened to a lot of the Randy Newberg podcasts on this, and I tend to agree with what he says is until it reaches the federal level, so Wyoming makes it a law, somebody in Wyoming has to sue them to retract that law.
Right.
To then push it into the Supreme Court level to make it a nationwide law. Because right now it would just be for the state of Wyoming.
Right. Interesting.
So until it gets to federal level, now it would set precedents for other cases.
Right.
But it wouldn't be a wide sweeping thing. Like then Montana could try to do it, etc. But I think you're going to see a lack of lawsuits and opposition because of the money tied up in our public land that we cannot access with ranchers, etc., outfitters that have all this landlocked land, public land with animals on it that you and I should legally be able to go and harvest.
Right.
That they're benefiting from.
Yep.
So they're telling this guy, that's why you really haven't heard much from that original landowner, because I think a bunch of his buddies were telling him just sit down, take one for the team. Be
quiet. Yep.
Sit down, shut up.
Yep.
Just let it happen because I have 1.8 million acres of land, but I only own 7.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. Honestly, that's something. I think it was Meat Eater, Stephen Ranella, that I was listening to when he was talking about that was possibly going to happen. Because I've run into that issue. In Colorado, I hunt Colorado, and there's so much land that if I could access by corner crossing, oh man, it would double my hunting ability there. Just getting into some of that area. Now it lets everybody else get in there too, which I'm fine with. It's letting you and I both get into that area. So when I was listening to him talk about it, he didn't say anything about any of that stuff, but he kind of talked about that. If we can get it to a federal level and get it so that this is just kind of a nationwide statement, then it's a game changer for us as hunters. Honestly, it allows us to do so much more than what we've been able to do in the past.
At the same time, obviously there is, private land rights and all that other things. By no means am I saying screw the private landowner. It's going to make it a lot harder on us as hunters, to make sure we are crossing within the legal boundaries and staying within those legal means of what the access has allowed us to require. So it's a double-edged sword of it's going to be awesome. We just have to make sure we do it correctly because it's like block management. I hunt quite a bit of block management here in Montana, actually, because of, it's a great way to gain access, especially down in the river bottom. ranchers have, they got farm fields and stuff with a bunch of ground they don't use, so they open it up for public access through the BMA, block management program. And since I was a kid, I started hunting in Montana in 2002. And there was always just these little BMAs we'd be able to go to, and same old farmer gal, rancher husband, whatever. Great people. You close the gate, you pick your trash up. And I think I was in my freshman year of high school, and we went to go out hunting opening morning. This was way before e-scouting and all that stuff. It was like, yep, nope, we're just going to go up to the old BMA up here on the hill, and we get to the gate, and there's no sign-in box. And we happened to be friends with the landowner, acquaintances. My dad had done some work for because he was a general contractor, residential contractor. And we call her, hey, Virginia, what happened? Somebody had gone in late the last season, didn't pick up trash, left gates open.
Oh, man.
And people were just abusing the privilege.
Yeah.
It's not a right to access somebody's land. It is a privilege for a private landowner to let you on their property.
Yep.
They abused the privilege, and she pulled it from the program. Oh, man. She's like, I get tax breaks and everything else for it, but it's at this point I'm spending more money fixing fences and picking trash.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out. And there's actually been quite a large reduction in, there's a spot just within 5 minutes of my house. There's some giant whitetail bucks in here.
Oh, man.
And it's, ag field, Cottonwood, river bottom, creeky, like.
Yeah.
First day we found this place, we walk in there and I counted like 37 tree stands in varying degrees of degradation. Like, that one's been here for 30 years.
Yeah.
But now we can't access it because that landowner, people were, and unfortunately, because it was open for waterfowl as well, not to crap on waterfowlers, they weren't following the parking rules. There's 2 designated parking areas, and these guys would drive and park in the bottom of the field because there's a road there, and it's like, you didn't read the rules.
Yep.
I was like, you're carrying in a bag of decoys that weigh 20 pounds. If I shot a doe back in, there's like, we had to drag this bitch out 1.5 miles. That is the longest I will ever drag a deer out, because deer should be shot within 400 yards of the truck whenever possible.
I like that rule. Especially a doe.
My cousin, the last 3 years, actually, he shot with a rifle, shot a spike fork 2.5 miles from the truck.
Oh.
And then he shot another one 1.5 miles. And then this last year, he shot a 4x4 mule deer, not a big 4x4, like a little crab claw, fork and horn with crab claws, 9 miles from his truck.
Oh my gosh. Dude,
my brother's buck was 2 miles from the truck, but I was like, he's big enough, dude.
Quarter
him. I'll pack this buck off the mountain for you.
Oh yeah, if it's a big buck, absolutely. There's no question about it. But if it's
fork and horn meat bucks,
no, dude. We had that in Colorado though. We had a guy that was, I don't think he was from like Oregon or something like that. And we're probably 4 or 5 miles back up in there, and he comes walking by us, and he's carrying like this little. It was a 3-point, but just a dinky, like probably like as big as like the first buck I ever shot in my life. And he's just carrying it, and he was so out of breath. And I was like, man, how long you been hiking? He's like, I've been about 5 miles to this point. I was like, you got another 4 or 5 miles to go, buddy. He's like, yeah, that's what we had to do to get this. I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you did not.
Go drive the roads and drink beer.
Exactly. If that's what you're going to shoot back there, buddy, you don't need to do that. But I mean, hey, it's all about the experience, man. It's all about the experience.
Everybody wants to crap on road hunting. To me, road hunting is like fly fishing versus spin casting. So you fly, and it's kind of like how I think of bow hunting and rifle hunting too, a little bit of, and you can tie it to backpack hunting or, off-road hunting versus road hunting. You do one for the experience and the feel, fly fishing, all that.
Yeah.
And then you do the other one when you need to put stuff in the freezer.
When you're hungry. Yep, exactly.
You need to catch fish. You don't fly fish. You throw a Rapala down in there and drag it through that hole. Fish on.
That's like,
you want to
Yeah, when
you want to put legal down, you go and you cover ground with, and road hunting. Yes, you're driving around you're covering ground in your truck.
Yeah, but you're still covering ground.
Yeah, you're glassing. You got to get out to go. My nephew actually shot his first elk a couple years ago with me. She died 500 yards from the truck. We got her out whole.
Nice.
And we got dropped off onto the top of this ridge. My brother drove down around to the bottom, and him and I came down, shot her in this saddle, and drug her straight down in the snow.
Yeah, I like it.
We were road hunting, but we got out and walked 300 yards.
Yeah. Yep. That's perfect. I'm down with that. That's it. Well, that's my son's story this year. Exactly that. Shot it, and actually it ran I literally drove my side-by-side just off the road a little bit because there was another little road down there, a little 2-track, off the road a little bit and backed right up to his deer and threw it right in the back of the truck. It was a beautiful thing.
The more they run, the bull I shot 2 years ago, he actually saved us about 1.5 miles because he ran down this cliff towards the road. I was like,
yes, keep on going. Keep on going.
I can see the truck. Just keep running, buddy. You're another 3 miles before we get there. I shot that bull 4.5 miles and 2,500 vertical from the truck.
Jeez.
And I could see the truck. That's what was disappointing is we could see the pickup.
Yeah, getting in that pickup's a whole different story.
Get there. That's a long way. It's that little white dot.
Oh, yeah, I've been there, done that. When you're sitting at the bottom of a canyon and you got to look up at 3,000 feet above you, and there's a little white dot up there. You're like, I got to get to that. That's a long ways to go.
How did we get down here?
Yeah, why did we go down here is the question. What are we doing, you crazies?
The answer is usually, something bugled down here.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We saw something we wanted to get, and so here we are. Now we got to get back.
Yeah, we didn't find it. Now we got to go.
Well, shoot, Ethan. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on and chatting with me. Man, you guys got a lot of cool stuff going on between Red Patch and 360 Sportsman and all you guys are doing. I don't know how you have time for a family and a job, man. You got a lot going. You got a lot of fires burning right now.
I'm a construction superintendent, so like my day consists of like 5 to 10 minute actual work.
I guess that's true. Yeah, you spend more time driving. You drive from one to the next.
No, it's all on the same job site. So I drive to the job site, sit in the trailer. People come to me with their problems. I fix the problems. They go back to work.
Gotcha.
I sit there and
heck yeah.
Usually,
I was gonna say,
I got 32-inch monitors on my desk, 2 of them.
Man.
Heck so yeah. I haven't started it yet, but come end of March, I'll have about 4 different hunt plans for about 6 different areas for 6 different weekends.
Nice.
Just go in there and start. Yeah, well, we want to try this spot. We try this spot and this spot and this spot and this spot. And this is how I would hunt this. And hey, I never hunted this spot, but it looks good.
Well, I hope you're too busy filling orders for Red Patch, man. Hopefully you get to the point that you just got so much crap coming in for that consumes all of your extra time.
I hope so, but Jed and I always jokes like, man, we picked the wrong business to be hunters. Everyone else's busy times when we want to go hunting.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like I've thought about doing different things. Like everybody's like, oh, you should just go do a business in hunting. And I'm like, I get that. I want to do, I mean, that would be cool, but I like to hunt during hunting season, like I want to be out hunting. I don't want to be tied down to something that would limit that, that's what the off time is for, is doing, that kind of stuff. But yeah, when it comes hunting time, I want to be hunting.
Yeah. We once September rolls through, we put up on the website, lack of planning is not my fault. You'll get your order when you get your order, more or less.
Yeah.
Yep. As crass.
Yep.
For the public, but it's like shipping times will vary.
Yeah, it's just hey man, it happens. A good buddy of mine owns Sneak Tech. Do you know Sneak Tech boots?
Yep, I know Jeff.
Yeah, so Jeff, he's actually my wife's uncle. But same thing. He gets like, when it's hunting season, he's hunting. To fill orders, I'm sorry, you're gonna get it when you get it, but if you want a Sneak Tech boost for archery season, well, you should have got it a long time ago before archery season started.
June, July, August.
Exactly.
Plenty of time to order this.
All the time you needed to get those things in. I mean, go to the show, go to the expo and pick them up there, like it's funny, but I'm the same way. I'm like, yeah, I'm hunting. Come hunting season, I'm hunting. I don't want to be doing anything else. So how do you know Jeff?
Mountain Archery Fest.
Oh, gotcha.
So the first year we were at Soldier Hollow, we set our booth up, and then his booth is right next to ours. So it's like, oh,
Oh,
hey. So
yeah.
now it's been just a 3 year. We see each other at shows and stuff, and
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
I like that a lot. I actually I wish I would have had a pair of Sneak Techs when I
Dude.
was down in Arizona, because it was just dry, crackly Oakleys.
Uh-huh.
It, I,
People kind of give him a hard time, not him, but I read some of the comments on some of the Sneak Tech stuff. It's like, oh, I don't need that. I can just go on my socks. And I get some of these other companies are coming out with different stuff, but I mean, I can swear by them. They work. They honestly work, and you are so quiet going in on those animals. It makes a huge
so,
difference.
walking around in socks, it's like,
Oh,
first
it
off, I'm gonna
sucks.
forget where I put my boots. Second off, I take my boots off after hiking 6 miles. That animal's gone. I don't care which way the wind's blowing. There's some smell coming
Putting
up
off
out of there.
a cloud of green.
Yeah, like it's the to have something you can just slip on over the top of your boot, still have the support. I mean, a lot of these guys like, oh, I'm gonna sneak down to my socks, and you're like watching a high country Utah
Yeah.
mule deer hunt, and it's like, dude, my ankles are already snapping, and I'm
Yep.
just watching this.
Hmm.
Like,
Even
no thanks.
those new moccasin type things. I can't remember if it's sheep feet or somebody came out with some.
GP just came out with them. They're
Yeah.
almost like a rock climbing boot, a
Yeah.
little bit
And I
shoe,
still
but there's no support.
exactly. That's the thing is I like my Crispies, man. I like to have the support of my boots on there, and that way, and then I can just and there it takes seconds to throw those things on too. Usually, if you bet a deer, you got all the time in the world to sneak in on that deer. Even if you don't, I mean, a few seconds, throw that thing on, tighten it up. Still have my boots on. I'm quiet as can be. Oh man, they're a game changer for me too. I love those things.
That I hate that phrase.
Oh, game
Jed
changer.
and I get Jed and I get in arguments over because
There's
we
only
go to
some things
expos,
that
right?
are. There's only a few things that are game changers.
We go to expo, so we say the sling, it's a game changer. The bugle keeper
Yeah.
is, I mean, honestly, I will say this thing is a freaking game changer for people that call aggressively. The bow sling is a game changer.
Hmm.
You know how many times I have heard Jed say game changer in the last 3 years between all of these shows we've
Oh
gone to?
man. Oh man.
He's like, what do you want me to say? It's like revolutionaries. Like, we're not gonna like grab our bayonets and go,
No,
like,
dude. It's a game changer, dude. It is. It's a game changer. It's changing the game.
but we need to come together and find a better term
It's
to
the
modify the rules in which the game is played.
it's all you millennials, man. It's a millennial term. It's all you millennials coming up with this
You're,
game changer.
you're still a millennial. You're an elder millennial. But you are
Barely,
still millennial.
barely. I'm a millennial. I consider myself
You're
a
a millennial.
zennial. 'Cause
I'm a millennial. You're a millennial. Get over
no, no. There's 4 years between you and I. We're completely different generations, dude.
it. You were born in 86?
5.
80. Oh, you're 85. You might is
It's 80.
85 the cutoff?
84
cutoff.
is the cutoff for a millennial technically. So
You're an elder millennial.
yeah,
Still a millennial.
yeah. I'm not gonna own it
Just
though.
embrace it.
I'm not
Hey,
gonna
we're
own
not
it.
in alpha or whatever.
Oh, this new one is ridiculous, dude. Holy moly. These kids nowadays are, well, they're crazy. I don't know how they do it.
It's going to be interesting. And going back to getting people into hunting, it's, having more outdoor time, more time with family, things like that. It does help create in my opinion, a better society and a better just
It does.
values for people to follow, because it is. Do we have time for one more quick story?
Yeah,
I know
absolutely,
we've already
man.
been doing this
Shoot,
for
we got all the
almost
time
2
in the
hours.
world, man.
We got Grayson, this young man that I've been taking out.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege of taking him and his two brothers out. So his older brother Tegan, Grayson, and then Easton. Easton took out this year. That was the hunt that Taylor came up and filmed
Oh, uh-huh.
this year. And Easton, 10 years old, because of the apprentice hunting program,
Mm-hmm.
took a great doe, made an awesome shot.
Nice.
Killed her road hunting.
Speaking of road hunting.
We hiked our butts off that day. We shot her at last light.
Hey, sometimes you have to suffer through it. You just got to suffer a little bit. That's actually a Steve Rinella thing. Sometimes you just have to put in the suffer,
Suffer fest.
Yep.
The more you suffer, the better the reward.
That's so true.
But Grayson's like the kid that he's like, hey, did you update Hunter Call of the Wild? What hunting show are we watching? This kid lives and breathes hunting. Their dad's not in the picture anymore, unfortunately. He got into some legal trouble, but
oh dang, that sucks.
so I'm, you know, we shoot shotgun. How it all started is I shoot trap league and 5-stand league with their grandpa, and then obviously we all just started hanging out, became friends. The boys shot with us. They come to they were at our wedding. It's just a grand. They're actually coming over next weekend. We're doing the sausage party.
Nice.
Where we grind up all the meat from the year and make burger.
I'm glad you explained what the sausage party was, because I was a little nervous there for a minute, but
I'm not Diddy. There's no baby oil in this house.
I didn't mean to distract us that bad.
But so we take him out the first year so I took Tegan out 2 years. Took Tegan out because the way the boys were, I think they're Irish twins. They're just, just far enough apart to where it was one season. I had Tegan by himself, and then it was Tegan and Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
And then, unfortunately, Tegan's no longer with us. There's a big... for those of you listening, just not to get too sad into that, but mental awareness, mental health, suicide awareness, please take care of each other. Ask the questions. That one hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Anyway,
that's bad.
No, thank you for that. But so then this year it was Grayson and Easton, but the 2 years ago. Anyways, it was Tegan and Grayson, and both boys are just like, "Yep, let's go kill something. Let's go hunting." And Tegan walked around with my cousin because the way Montana is, you have to have one adult per kid. So I can't take both boys out. I needed another adult there. My cousin had Fridays off at the time, so he went with me. And we actually brought another friend of mine, Landon, around, another younger kid, and it's like, dude, bring your camera, take pictures, video, whatever. It'd be fun. We got some awesome photos of the boys. And same, I told the guys, like, because they can shoot does or bucks, and I'm like, you guys need to tell me, what do you want to shoot? And both of them are just like, deer. Great, let's go. Let's go hunt, and whatever's legal we'll get. And Tegan actually walked in the middle of a herd of cow elk. Just walking down the road, and we just hear him blow and go down the ridge. And he's like, "What was that?" I was like, "You did not see those 15 cow elk that were standing 150 yards in front of you?" It's like, "No, there was elk there." I was like, "You smell that barnyard smell?"
I was gonna say, you should be able to smell them at that point.
Yeah,
probably taste them.
Just again, hunting with Tegan was 13 at the time. Grayson's 11.
Yeah,
hunting with young kids. And we go and we get to a spot. We hike back. We looped all the way back to where it bordered property, and we were 2 miles from the truck. And we're walking down this ridge to the lower road to walk back to the truck, and this yearling doe jumps up.
Oh man!
And she takes off this way. Tegan happened to be closer to me, so Tegan and I bail this way. Jared and Grayson go down lower just because we didn't see which way she went. I come around the corner, and Tegan is freehand. Boom, 100-yard shot. Just did it with his uncle's first rifle, like, whole awesome story.
Yes.
6mm, like.
That's awesome.
Smokes this doe.
Awesome.
We were 2 miles from the truck. I have my pack with me. It's like, man, I should have just quartered that thing and threw it in the pack.
Yeah.
We drug her out. I made the kid. I was like, the rules are you guys got to drug him out. I will gut your first
drug her?
And I was like, you got to drug, because I wanted him to learn the lesson of, we don't shoot deer this far from the truck unless they're big. We don't shoot does 2 miles from the pickup.
Especially a doe. Oh, especially a doe. There's no need to.
She was a smaller doe, so it wasn't terrible.
Man, yeah, that's when you just throw over his shoulders. 13-year-old kid, sorry, buddy. This is going over your shoulders. Yeah. Blood's going to be running down your back. You're packing that thing out, man.
We got a video of him, like, taking. He's got a Taekwondo tournament the next day. He was actually leaving. Grayson was staying with me that night, and we were dropping Tegan back off, and they were going to go fight in Seattle.
Oh, nice.
Their mom's actually the current gold medalist for her age class.
Wow.
For the United States. So.
Wow. Dang, that's impressive.
Pretty badass.
Yeah.
very competitive family.
Yeah.
Imagine, because all three boys do taekwondo. But
don't pick on them. They'll probably mess you up in a hurry.
The youngest one, Easton's a tank, and he can kick me in the head. I'm 6'3". But so we're driving out, we get back to the truck, and it's 15, 20 minutes left of light, and we're driving out, and up in the road, doe.
Nice.
Grayson, let's go, get out, let's go. And he forgot to put a bullet in. Forgot to put the safety off second time, and then, it's fine. And like, come on, dude.
Yep.
Got this, like, breathe. And then just, nope, too dark. We're just done. But so we went to dinner, to celebrate Tegan's deer, and his grandpa came, and Grayson's just sitting in the corner. He's just being really quiet.
Oh.
I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? You okay? Like, it's a fun day. It's something. What's going on? I didn't know if it was something to do with his, memories with his dad or whatever. He goes, I don't know if I can kill anything.
Like,
talk to me about, like, what's your emotionally? He didn't, him putting the crosshairs on that animal and pulling the trigger twice to not have anything happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a gut wrench.
It got to him. He wasn't, he thought he was prepared for it. And he, kind of realized that, hey, I'm not really there yet.
Yeah.
So, he ended up staying with me that night still, because, it's like, well, he was staying with me the weekend anyways, because they're going to the fight. He actually went to work with me on Friday, and then I was like, well, we'll go hunt in the afternoon. And we drive up another spot over here close to town, just like, it's the youth hunt. I can't hunt. It's not archery season. It's not rifle season, but let's go drive around. He's like, I'm going to shoot a grouse. I was like, sure, dude. Like, whatever. And he's always wanted to shoot a grouse. He just finally shot his first grouse last day of rifle this year with a 308.
Nice.
Blue grouse.
Nice.
And he finally cooked it up, and he texted me. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to eat any more grouse. That was not. It's like, dude, well, yeah, you shot a giant blue grouse. They taste like pine needles this time of the season.
Hey, they're amazing when you're back there and you're starving, though, and all you had is Mountain House. Yeah,
exactly. Shoot them in September. They're delicious.
Yeah, exactly.
But we had this buck. Nice little 4-point basket, 4x4, 15 yards off the road.
Oh, geez. Yeah, hey.
And I told him, I was like, dude, you should shoot this deer. And it's first snowfall of the year. Like,
beautiful.
He's got his dumb on him. It's in the evening. This deer's not moving.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I popped the magazine out. I was like, here, just no bullets. Just
practice.
Go practice. Click. Okay. Yeah, I still don't think so we drive up, and I park at this gate, and we walk down this road. Guess what we see again? We ran into that buck 2 more times.
It's destiny at this point.
He did not pull the trigger on that deer.
Really?
He's like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. And then he waited, towards the end of season, we go out and we're Tegan's chasing elk with Jared in the same spot that my nephew had gotten his cow earlier, because it's just in this nice saddle. And I've shot 140-inch whitetail on this ridge too. Like, it's a great spot just to go and get some stuff down. And so I gave Tegan my rifle, my 308, because he still had the 6mm. So I was like, we're going to switch. So Tegan and Jared take the 2 308s. Grayson, you got the 6mm, so that it's, you can only hunt deer anyway. So let's, I got my dope chart in my rifle in case Jared need to follow up, etc. Like, go take care of this. And we drive. I see this really cool 4-point, and we drive over there, and we're glassing at him. And I'm like, Grayson, you need to shoot. I'm tagged. I don't have a tag.
Right.
This is a dead deer if I'm shooting. He's like, no, I'm not going to. Okay. And we're driving back, it's just this big loop that I drive through. There's just always deer running all over the place. And this fork and horn stops 20 yards in front of us in the middle of the road. I'm like, dude, you need to shoot this deer.
Yeah. Right in the middle of the road.
I'm trying to pressure on you, but you want to shoot. This is not going to be and the deer had walked off the edge and just went back to grazing. I'm like, dude,
Perfect.
Doesn't really care we're here. He's broadside. You can get out, and there's a rock right, big boulder on the side of the road. Like, go. So he
Get
goes,
set
and he's
up.
like, okay, I'll do it. He gets out, and he gets down. Boom!
Oh, no.
Boom! Boom! It's like a 50-yard shot. The scope mount came loose. Because it was an older rifle. We sighted it in. We verified it. We torqued everything down, and it just got bumped somehow. He puts 4 rounds, and I don't have a gun.
No, why would you? Yeah, like
because the guns are out elk hunting. Sent the rifles off with those guys. Deer runs off finally, and like I finally see it. Like, dude, the last shot he took this deer, he had like ran up on the hillside to where I could finally see.
Yeah, where he's hitting
like 4.5 feet low at 100 yards.
Oh man,
are you kidding me? So we drive back. We pick up his brother and my cousin. I'm like, dude, it's like Tig. You guys are done elk hunting. Give Grayson back his gun. There's the 6M's off. And we're driving, and we see these 2 big-bodied spikes cross in front of us, and we go running up there. Get out of the truck, and Grace and I take off this way, and they're like 30 yards in front of us, broadside, and he racks it. Click.
Jeez.
Like, we're shooting Barnes factory loads. Like 168 grain 308 Barnes triple shock. Money round for me, and I don't know if it was just because my cousin actually started having the issue because Grayson's gun's the Ruger 308 American, static stock, entry level gun.
Yeah,
I don't know if everything just wasn't as tight as it should have been, and it was causing just enough gappage to not hard strike the primer.
Yeah.
So he's on this. Well, no, first shot was no round. Like he forgot to load the gun.
Oh my gosh. Poor
Second
kid.
shot is it goes click, and then I was like, dude, rack another one. I see the shell come out, so I'm like, what? And then the deer walk off. So we run back to the truck. I hand him my gun. I'm like, this gun will go bang.
Goodness gracious.
I know this gun goes bang. And we go down into this meadow where the deer went, and he gets set up on this fence, and they're standing there, and they're these spikes just wanted to die. And he gets on it, and boom, and I just see hair. He cut high.
Oh,
he shot the hair off the top of his back. No blood. Like, we followed the tracks up the hill. No blood, no nothing. I'm just like,
this kid,
dude.
Man. Oh my gosh.
We tried. So we even went out the last day of season, and the only thing we saw was 1 yearling doe. And I'm like, dude, no. We're not going to shoot a yearling. So, long story short, on then 2 years ago we take him, or the next year I take him out. Tegan didn't want to hunt, so it's just Grayson. I take him out, and he spots this gorgeous 4-point buck. I'm like, dude, that's a stump. That's not a deer. And oh yeah, no, Grayson, get out, shoot him. Boom, 150-yard shot, dumped him. We'd been hunting for like 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So he eventually got, the success, and then this year he blames Jared for convincing him to shoot a yearling. So this year I made him gut his own deer. It took him we filmed the whole thing. It took him 27 minutes to gut this yearling.
Nice.
And then him and his brother, they drug it out. Like, they drug it all the way back to the truck.
Dude,
that is what it's about. It's learning those lessons, but it's a lot of growth.
It is.
Hunting is, he had the full gambit of, do I want to take a life? Can I take a life? Relied on his mentors, the people around him, to feel open to talk to him about it, of, this is what I'm feeling, even though he's in a truck full of people that he's like, oh, I got to be, Mr. Man out here killing stuff. It's like, just talk to me. What are you feeling?
I think that's I don't know, the impression that people get a lot of the time is like, oh, this guy's been hunting for 30 years. Like, I can't talk to him. He's going to think I'm going to, ask dumb questions and whatnot. And I think it's with anything. Like, if you're new to it, ask those questions, man. Like, be a little bit vulnerable. And it is. It's hard for some of us guys. And there's a lot of guys that are, 40 plus years old that are just getting into hunting. And they're like, man, I don't want to look like an idiot in front of these guys. But I try to tell people all the time, like, you don't look like an idiot. Ask those questions. I'd rather you ask those questions than mess up, and do something that hurt somebody or hurt something or break something or whatever, like ask those questions up front. But I do, people having these tools of, whatever the case may be, even YouTube, learning some of this stuff is definitely beneficial. And I think going back to our conversation about like, these generations, these kids nowadays, shoot, they can go on and watch a video, and be able to see like, okay, this is how you do things and hopefully learn from that. But yeah,
and that's, the challenge with all YouTube University, right? Is having the physical mentor, the person that you can actually ask, hey, this is my thought, this is a question I have, learning how to do stuff that way. Cause it's, you can't learn everything from a book. It's not math.
No, you got to experience
even
it.
with math, you have to practice math.
Yep.
So I have to take my shoes off sometimes, but
But I'm glad that you shared like these stories though, because like you're saying like, yeah, YouTube University only takes you so far, but like 360 Sportsman, like they're still watching the screen, but being able to hear these stories of like, okay, has Ethan really hunted? Has he really actually done some of this stuff? Does he really know what he's talking about? Like being able to like share some of these stories and these experiences, it's like, okay, all right, yeah, like this is coming from true experience and from a true place that you really want people to do good and be successful.
I want, if I can shorten the learning curve for 10% of the people that I ever talk to, then I feel good about myself. Of, hey, I helped them, Kevin going out in 2 years, shooting his first buck,
that's awesome.
Ordering away shot at 55 yards with his bow. Like it was awesome. Cool. Cause he's like, hey, cause it was still in velvet.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do I Euro this? I was like, I don't know how to Euro with velvet on, but I have a buddy who's a taxidermist. Give me a minute.
I was going to say, I don't know that I would dare Euro one by myself. Like, I mean, a velvet one. I've Euroed my other one, my hard-horned ones, but velvet, yeah, that's when you just take it to a taxi. He did it by himself?
It came out. Basically, it was velvet lock.
Oh, that's true. So, yeah, Velvet Antler Technologies.
Yep. So this is...
That's true. I guess you could do that.
Job.
Oh, yeah, that does look good. I'd be worried about getting the hydrogen peroxide up in the velvet. That would be my worry. I mean, I do a pretty good job of sealing off my antlers anyways, but...
Also, actually, after talking to my buddy Boone, who's a taxidermist, when they do velvet, you actually inject formaldehyde.
Yeah.
Like you get at the top and you stick it into a vein. And you inject formaldehyde all the way down. It pushes all the blood out the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like that's how the professionals do it. But I had a buddy too that he shot a caribou up in Alaska this year. Young kid, gorgeous caribou. They put 3 bottles of velvet lock on that thing.
Wow.
And it's held. So I mean that velvet lock is...
Dude, it's
good.
It's got its place. My taxidermist that I use, he's not a believer of it. He still likes putting the formaldehyde in it and whatnot. Which, yeah, if I'm next to the truck and I shoot it and I can throw it in the truck and get it to him and let him run with it, great, do it. But yeah, if I'm in the backcountry somewhere and I've got to go overnight, or yeah, if I'm in Alaska and I'm not going to get it to the taxidermist for weeks, dude, velvet lock, that's where it's at, man. And it does it. It works really well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. But it's just, again, having someone that you can reach out of and ask.
Yeah.
That's everyone wants. I mean, most hunters. I mean, you're probably the same way. I love to talk about hunting.
Oh, we've been talking about hunting this whole time. This is why I do this podcast, is because I love. I honestly, it's funny. Like people ask, like, oh, what do you want to grow to, and what do you want to take the podcast to? Honestly, I've got a really good job. I make a good salary. I don't care if anybody listens to this podcast. Honestly, I enjoy talking hunting to new people. I want to meet new
people.
Yeah.
I want to nerd out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if we actually started talking about archery, we are going to go down so many nerdy mathematical rabbit holes because a lot of my things are math driven, and I am speed, weight, the whole 9 yards.
You're getting ahead of me here, but I was actually thinking that, like, I kind of wanted this one more centered around 360 Sportsman, and I get it, and also, Red Patch, and just get to know you more than anything. But honestly, that was kind of in the back of my mind. I was like, man, I wonder if we couldn't do some like archery podcast where we just sit down and we talk archery and I don't even care where it goes, honestly. Just wherever you and I want it to go, we just talk. I mean, you down with that?
I am 100. When and where, dude? When and where?
Sweet. We're gonna plan this, dude.
Let's do it because I love talking about it more. And for me, it's a way to extend my hunting.
Right? It is, yeah.
Like figuring out my gear, talking to people about gear, talking to new hunters about gear, new hunters about where they want to go hunting.
Yeah.
It's just ways for me to, not to be the living vicariously through people. I'm living vicariously through people because it's a way for me to, like, I've never hunted. I'll probably never hunt in Utah. 100, just to be honest, I don't have points. Your guys' draw system's kind of whacked.
Oh yeah.
But I know 3 people that I've experienced hunts in Utah, or secondhand hunts, and helped plan hunts for these guys in Utah. So I kind of know how to hunt Utah.
Right.
I could do it.
Right.
If I wanted to, but it's just more experience for me to put in the back of my mind.
Well, that's what these conversations are, honestly. Like everything that you learn from these conversations is like, oh man, I didn't even think about that. I'm gonna add that in, or even gear. Like you're like, oh, I didn't even know about that. You're like Velvet Lock. Yeah, I did a podcast with those boys over there, but like had no idea that even existed. There's probably people listening to this podcast right now, like, what the freak are these guys talking about? And so
it's a gray bottle and it's fantastic stuff.
It is, but that's what I love about these conversations is you learn so much. And sometimes I'll put these podcasts on and I'll just listen to them, whether it's my podcast or somebody else's podcast. And, I'll just listen, but man, you learn so much from it. And like you said, it's extending hunting. Like it allows you to bring hunting into your life just that much more.
Yeah. I did just listen to your Broadhead podcast yesterday, actually, because right now I'm commuting like 3 hours.
Yeah. Hey, leave me some comments though. I need some recommendations.
QAD Exodus.
What is it? QAD what?
The QAD Exodus. It's a fixed blade 3.
Let's see.
So the bull that I shot this year in Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Nice 7x7 bull. I'm shooting. So I have the lift.
Ooh, nice.
I broke down. I love that bow so much.
I'm still shooting at VRX or
the VXR 31.5.
Yep, that's it right there. Yep.
The lift was the first bow to convince me to leave my VXR, but I gave the VXR to Jed.
Oh, nice.
So it's still in my life.
I love my VXR. It's been amazing, but I did shoot the Lift X the other day. Now.
So the reason I went to the lift was 80-pound mods.
Yeah.
Because I have 31-inch. I'm a long draw, 31-inch draw, so I'm shooting the 33. With 80-pound mods on it, I'm shooting the Victory Rip TKO stainless steels.
Ooh, nice.
250 spine.
Yeah.
11.7 an inch.
Wow. How fast your arrows going?
I'm shooting 550 grains, 294 feet per second.
Holy cow!
I'm throwing telephone poles.
Yeah, you are.
That's the reason why I bought the lift was I want to go heavier because I was shooting the same arrows last year out of the VXR with 75-pound mods. I was at like 283. Like decent speed. Honestly, the only reason I'm shooting this heavy is because the stainless steel rips, and I love the Rip TKO to begin with. It's such a tough, dependable arrow. I always tell people, be between that 450 to 500 mark. Keep your speed north of 280. 280 to 300, any broadhead will tune.
Yep.
You have speed, you have mass, you have energy, you have momentum, you have power. I listened to a podcast with Iron Will. I forget who he was on. Oh, he's on Meat Eater, actually. Iron Will. Iron Will Bill.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing, unfortunately, I watched the one. I can't afford his broadhead, so I'm just too cheap for that. I buy too much other stuff.
Yeah, same.
And then Born and Raised came out, and they did on their YouTube channel. They shot an elk scap with a QAD Exodus, and I've been shooting QAD for years. I shoulder punched a bull in 2020 with a Rage hypodermic. Was not the broadhead's fault. It was not the broadhead's fault because I put the arrow there.
Yeah.
I was too tight to the shoulder. The bull moved his arm. Boom.
But it's nice to have a broadhead that can go through that, and actually do some damage, though.
You could, but it's not the broadhead's fault that it failed.
I get that.
In that instance,
but I did the same thing.
That was my fault.
I shot. In fact, I've got a bunch of those right here. But the same exact broadhead, hit a rib, same thing. I mean,
I've never had an issue with the rib. Now, granted, I'm always in that 475, 290 plus.
I guess that's
range,
true. You got and you got a lot more weight with your arrows than I do. So that's part of it.
I'm running. I run math because
Yeah.
mechanicals rely on momentum and energy to open.
Right.
You got to have math. My sister-in-law, who her ex-husband had her set up with rages, and she hit a bull in the shoulder with the rage. She has a 45-pound draw. It's like you no.
Didn't even know you hit it.
Yeah, the broadhead didn't open because it didn't have enough push to do it. You have to have. But anyways, going back to what I
shot it with a blunt, basically.
Sharp.
Yeah.
Sharp, because the less energy required to puncture through the animal is going to maintain momentum and energy to pass through the animal.
Exactly.
You cut something with a really sharp knife, when you're gutting or whatever, and it's like, oh God, oh my God, I'm bleeding. I didn't even know I did that. Versus, oh, hey, look, I finally cut myself.
Exactly.
Less energy.
Yep.
But the Q80 Exodus, and they will be my elk head probably till the day I die now, especially after this year. But that bull that came in on me, and eventually I'll get the YouTube video edited and up because we got it all on film, all 7 days of the hunt. And the shot, 22 yards. He's coming through some trees just on a trot, and he stops in front of this tree. And I think two things happened. One, I didn't stop because I'm just tracking him with my bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I fully came to a stop and anchor.
She's cracking me up, dude.
Damn board. They know we're gonna go do something when we get done with this. And second, I punched the living hell out of that trigger. Like I jerked the hell out of it. He was also I slowed down the video of the impact because I didn't get a clean passer, 22-yard shot.
Jeez.
But I was in the front. I shoulder punched him, dude. And once we finally broke him down, when I got back to Montana and got him butchered. So he goes I shoot and he whirls, and I see half of my arrow sticking out of his chest like this.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I just shoulder punched the only bull.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best shot I've gotten in 7 days. We have 4 days left of the hunt.
Yeah.
Shit. Now, granted, I think he's dead because I got 31-inch arrows.
It's a lethal shot for sure.
I got 15 inches of arrow in that cavity with a fixed blade broadhead.
Right. Yeah, it made a mess going through damage.
Once we finally cut him up, so right where the scapula comes down and it joins the big leg bone there, and there's just that big massive ridge in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I center punched it.
Oh, geez.
I shattered his scap. Like and I will, I even did a little, snippet video of, guys, this is not, I preach, stay the hell away from this shoulder because of this. Like this bone it's really 99 times out of 100, you're not going to beat that bone.
Right.
Q80 Exodus, 550 grain arrow going 294 feet per second. Demolished the front lung, cut the top of his heart off into the second lung, touched the backside rib.
Jeez. Did you post that on social media? That scapula?
I might have. I don't think I did the scap. I forgot to take a good video. I got a video of like me fingering the hole.
Uh-huh.
Because the entrance hole all the way through it. I forgot to take a picture. I needed to take a picture of that scapula, but it literally, dude, like through the thickest part of the bone.
Yeah.
Just absolutely destroyed it. And the Q80s, like that broadhead, cleaned it up, spun it.
Good to go, huh?
Good to go, rock and roll.
All right.
Like it.
All right.
They fly great. They tune great. Talk a little bit about fletchings. Right now I'm running some helicals because I'm running the 2.75 tack drivers, white and pink.
Nice.
1.5-inch right helical on them. Hits the same spot as the factory fletched Victories.
Oh, really?
So a lot of it's your bow tuning.
Yeah.
Yep. A well-tuned bow is going to throw every arrow within, 80-yard group is
nice.
This with 10 arrows, including broadheads with the QADs. Like,
man,
the QAD flies. I cannot sing their praises enough. with a QAD. Like, they are such a tough head. I had one broadhead that I killed 4 animals, including 2 bulls with.
Well, they're cheap too. I mean, like compared,
35 bucks for 3 heads.
Yeah, like that is so cheap. I mean, you look at compared to, I mean, not even compared to Iron Wheel, because Iron Wheel is ridiculous. Yeah. That's what my buddy Chad shoots, and I'm like, I can't justify it. But even
or like the Valkyrie systems, that's $250 for 3.
Yeah.
Like,
but I'm shooting like Grim Reaper's been because the Grim Reaper they're right down the road from me here. You know, they're not far away, and good buddies of mine, and bid and supporters of the podcast in the past and whatnot. So I've just kind of attached myself to them. But after this year, I'm just feeling like there's something more out there, and maybe it's a different Grim Reaper. I don't know, but I that's why I was like, I got to hear from some people that know like what everybody's loving. So
my general rule of thumb is, so I have a 6-arrow quiver. Well, now a 5 because I went to the low pro, but it's three fixed, the rest with mechanical.
Gotcha.
So I run 3 QADs, and then I have 3 rage no collars in there. Because to be completely honest, for shooting deer or antelope,
that
2.5-2 inch slap cut,
it's a big cut.
Devastating. And I have the energy.
Yeah.
And I have a well-tuned bow to where it honestly really doesn't matter. Although I will never throw those Bloodsport grave diggers. I don't know if you ever saw those.
Dude, I have some of those. I just got some of those just the other day.
Don't fucking throw them away.
Why?
They're the ones with the tension screw, the Allen screw to set the tension.
Hold on a second. I'm going to grab them, make sure that I've got the right ones.
Yeah.
I'll edit all this out, but I don't know what I did with them.
But they're the hybrid, right? They have an 1.25 inch fixed blade on the front.
Yep.
And then they have the big 2-inch cut on the other side. So you have 4 blades, which I was like, this is going to be cool.
Yeah, I've seen, like, my buddy sent me a video of like it going through, I think, the liver. I'll send you the video. Send me your number.
So touchy. So from what I experienced, one, they didn't fly great out of my bow. And so I was messing with the Allen because I was like shooting, like, God, that looked like it opened, Like, did that open in flight? So then I tightened it, and then they weren't opening.
Oh.
Because it's the Allen set for the tension.
Right.
If they went back, because, God, I remember when that broadhead design first came out 10, 15 years ago, they had the rubber band behind it.
Yeah.
Money, like, yes, all day long. But now that they have this, everyone's trying to get away from having an external barrier.
O-ring, yeah.
Yeah, an O-ring or something. It takes by the time you get the one broadhead figured out of, okay, it's this many turns, it's so crooked you can't tell where the hell you're hitting.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not built well. I shot an antelope doe with one. 50-yard shot, it did not open.
Huh.
Like, if I hadn't been shooting, I was still shooting my VXR at the time, so 550, 285. If I didn't have all that oomph behind it, I probably wouldn't have. I passed through.
Yeah.
Barely. I probably wouldn't have passed through, or even, it wouldn't have been great. I'm not a big fan. I shot a white-tailed doe with one after that, just because, like, well, it's in the quiver, whatever.
Right.
I shot at, and it just, like, I missed. Clean miss.
Jeez.
Completely clean miss. Not great tuning. So,
man, you're
not a fan of those broadheads.
You're messing my whole world up right now, which is good. This is honestly why I did that entire podcast, and I've got some really good, feedback. Some of the feedback's like,
great. There's a ton of great ones out there, but the ones I've shot, I found I don't like tinkering because, one, I'm not cheap. I like buying newer, better stuff, so I'm going to find something that works.
That's me, yeah.
And not spend money on that anymore, and let's find a new set of binos. Or
exactly.
probably going to murder me because I'm going to come back from Expo with a SIG rangefinder because they do
there's-
the Onyx rangefinding pin now. It's
Yep.
like, I need that.
That is sweet. That is an amazing thing.
But like, you know, the Levi Morgan Schwackers.
Yeah.
I shot a doe with those with one. I'm not a huge fan of it. Small entrance hole, number one. So you have a pencil hole and then a giant slap cut, which I was a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that broadhead's designed is you have your ferrule and then you have the two little wings on the side. I hooked a rib on the way in.
So it flipped, like
pulled the arrow, like broadside shot. I hit perfect behind the armpit and I exited high back right.
Huh.
Like she was dead on, like she ran 40 yards and tipped over. She
Yeah.
was dead. But as far as there was no
as
blood.
far as performance of what it did, Interesting.
You need holes, and that's where, so my general rule of thumb is fixed blade for elk. First shot. Now, granted, second shot, I don't care. I need to poke.
Yeah, you just want blood.
I do like mechanicals for the low profile in windy situations.
And that's why I went to him. That's why I've been shooting mechanicals. Well, I used to shoot the muzzies. The trocar, yeah.
Was it the fixed 3-blade or was it the expandable?
No, the fixed 3-blade. That was my go-to for
Muzzy Thunderhead.
Exactly. Shot it forever. I loved it. But yeah, in windy conditions, and then I also like the flight of a mechanical just because it flies exactly how my field tips do. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna switch over to them, and I got a relationship with Grim Reaper, so I was like, I'm gonna start shooting theirs, and
so the QAD, as long as your bow is paper tuned, which is pretty easy to do, just throw it through paper, make sure it's fine. If it's bullet holes, don't shoot at the same hole. If I'm sub 60 with my broadheads and field tips, I shoot my broadhead first and my field tips second.
Interesting.
Because I cut fletchings.
Huh.
And it's just paper tuning your bow. They have a short ferrule. It's like 1.25 inch ferrule is all.
Yeah, they look
short,
super short.
They're a short broadhead, but 1.25 inch, 1.3/8 cutting, something like that. 3 blades.
Interesting design where the blades come back over the collar. Like that's so.
Well, and they're replaceable blades too.
Oh.
So the swept ones, it's a replaceable blade, so you can pop that rubber collar off the bottom, put new blades on it, and throw it in.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna order me some. We're gonna give these. We're gonna give these a try.
They're great. They will. I mean, my first shot distance is 80 yards, and in. But that, again, that's a perfect scenario. That's like broadside, little to no wind, animals not whatever. So my first shots, when I get to season in August, when I have broadheads on, my first shot is a QAD at 80 yards, and I'm 8-ringing in every single time.
Man.
And then the field tips that I throw afterwards, it's hard to tell which arrow is the broadhead. Usually it's the one that shot better because I'm less in my head, on the first shot than I am by shot 9.
So true. I'm the same way by shot 9 or 10. I'm all over the place at that point, but
so
that was sweet, man. we're gonna have to do some podcasts and just talk because I'd love to pick your brain on some some releases, some rests, a bunch of different things. So we might have to just do some archery podcast.
We could jump off. We should just, it needs to be one on like a bow, like bow fit, bow, whatever. Then we have arrows. Then we have the pointy parts, the broadheads. Then we have releases. Then we have sights because, I'm shooting the Canyon Pounder from Option.
Oh, are you? Nice. A good buddy of mine shoots that.
Is he shooting the Canyon Pounder or is he shooting the Option 8 or the Option 6? The fixed housing or the slidable housing?
A slidable.
Yeah, so the Canyon Pounder where you can flip it out.
Yep.
But it's like the Black Gold Ascent.
Yep. Yeah, I think
where the whole housing will move.
Yep. Yeah.
So I shot the Black Gold for a long time, the 5-pin slider. And the Dial of Death spin out.
Dude,
I was going through one of those a year.
I was gonna say I got so sick of sending it in and getting that fixed that it was. I'm shooting the Ultra View now, but yeah, I like that Dial of Death. I was so sick of that. Oh man, it made me crazy.
I love that sight because I always preach 5-pin sight for hunting.
Yeah,
if you're hunting in the West, 5-pin minimum because of
those situations.
With my brother.
Yep.
Go from 50 instead of putting a pin on them and killing them.
You're aiming at the top of their back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, the dials are there for, okay, yeah, no, I do need to dial this out because it's a longer shot. But if it's a longer shot, I have time to do that anyways.
Exactly.
If it's
yeah, honestly, dials work really well for the Mountain Archery Fest and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's and it's fun shooting in my yard and whatnot. But yeah, when it comes to a hunting situation, actually, I got good buddies though that hunt with a single pin slider sight. So I guess
I know people that do
different
it,
strokes for different folks.
good for them. I'm glad they're making their life harder. In my opinion.
Yeah, it really.
Like the sliders on my VXR before I switched arrows, my tape was bottoming out at 148.
Jeez.
And I could put 6 of 10 on target.
Nice.
Shooting at a 3D target.
Yeah.
I could put 6 of 10 in the
foam
insert.
Wow.
At 150 yards, and it's just, at that there's so much, but I'm also a big proponent of practice at distance because it amplifies your mistakes.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm the same way. When I'm shooting here at my home range, it's always, I don't shoot under 50 yards. I mean, everything is out at distance up to 120. 120 is the most I'll shoot out here. But yeah, because then when you have that 40-yard shot, it's like, oh, this is nothing.
This is way too. Yeah, I verify. I go 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, I'm not shooting those because arrows are freaking expensive.
Exactly. That's exactly it. That's my buddy Chad. He's sending me all the time. He's always he keeps Robin Hooding arrows, and I'm like, dude, you got to scoot back. Yeah, you're gonna ruin a ton of arrows, especially if you're shooting broadheads. You're gonna be changing fletchings all the time.
Yeah. Like the Rip stainless steels. Those things they're over $30 an arrow, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're not cheap. Granted, I abuse the living hell out of them, but that's why I shoot tough arrows, because I break them.
But it just sucks when you hit one and you ruin it that way. Like, I'd rather ruin it in an animal or something. Not like in that scenario.
You shoot it and you miss. I hated that with the older carbons. Like, you'd miss and you'd hit like the rebar in the target, or you'd miss and low and hit a rock and it would blow the knock out the back.
Yeah.
And the carbon split.
Yep.
So you're like, well, that arrow's trash.
Exactly. You don't dare shoot it again.
Yeah. No, the outserts on the Victory outsert. I've bent a lot of outserts.
Mm-hmm.
But you just heat them up, pop them off, throw a new one on there.
A good friend of mine shoots those too. I'm still old school. I still shoot the FMJs. Actually, I just ordered the new match grade FMJs. I don't know. I've always been an Easton guy, and so it's just what I shoot. But he loves those Victories. He's in love with them. Actually, I did a podcast with him not too long ago. You should check it out. It's with his name's Tyler Stout. Okay. Really cool dude. You gotta. He's man. He wins the Mountain Archery Fest. I think pretty much every time he goes to it. So he's crazy. But yeah, he loves them.
No, the one thing I will say is with the stainless steels, for the first time ever, I actually had to knock tune.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
That was the one, and even shooting the Rip TKO out of my previous bow, or it's actually just the lift. Shooting the stainless steels out of the lift, I had to knock tune.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting the stainless steels out of my VXR, didn't matter.
I haven't had a knock tune in forever.
Yeah, first time I've ever had to do it, because we were struggling to get that thing to paper earlier this year.
Oh, I had an old Hoyt, man. I had to knock tune that thing like crazy back in the day. That was 10 years ago though, so, or longer.
It's funny because I mean, if you listen to a couple of our earlier podcasts that we did with School of Hard Knocks, I shit on Hoyt hard. I'm not a Hoyt fan.
I used to be.
My first compound bow was a Hoyt Raider.
Oh, dang. Dude, that's throwing it back a long ways.
That was my first. I actually had a bull my first year bow hunting, about a 350, 366 point.
Wow.
My dad's right next to me. He's shooting an old Browning Boss Vortex with 80-pound limbs on it.
Love
aluminum arrows. It's like I'm shooting a release, but I'm shooting instinctive still.
Yeah.
Like, because my dad's like, you need to be pulling minimum 50 pounds for me to take you elk hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't quite pull the fingers yet. So I put a release on, and I could pull 50.
Yeah.
And, I had a big single bevel broadhead on there. This bull's at 42 yards, and he's shooting the old Muzzy Thunderhead.
Nice, attaboy.
He sends it, and just zips this bull bull takes 2 steps forward, and I locked. I was like, oh my god, that thing's giant. I never shot. I stayed at Dad. Put another arrow in, sent it again. He must have only nicked one long because the last sign I found of that bull was a speck of blood about.
Oh, man.
He laid down. We could see him from the truck. He laid there or from the horses. He laid there for 2.5 hours and then stood up and started coughing.
Jeez. Wow.
And he went he crossed the valley, went up the cliff like that.
He's going. Yeah.
He was gone. So that was just
I miss those days. I miss those old like aluminum arrows, and your fletchings are like a foot long, and that's huge single bevel broadhead on the front of
a little too hard, and you're like looking at your arrow to make sure it's not bent. And
the good old days, man. That's we've complicated it now.
It's like I never in my days would I think I was like, well, what's the difference between this carbon and this carbon?
Right.
Well, this fletching design is slightly different than this one. It's a lower, longer profile, but this one's a shorter, stubbier, higher. Ooh, what's this going to do? What's that going to do?
It's totally different nowadays. It's just it's a complete different world than what it was. I remember painting my my sight. I had a sight and it had copper. The copper came out that had all the different pins on it. And I remember I saw something that they painted. I'm like, that's a great idea. My 20 can be green, and and I just painted them. I thought it was like the biggest thing in the world to have those things colored.
Now we're like, I don't want the red fiber because it goes dark sooner than everything else. Like I need this, but then I need to stagger them all through.
Oh,
a funny story. Jed's colorblind. My hunting.
Oh, really?
And he's red-green colorblind.
Oh man.
Hunting, it's great because it's all just shades of gray. So he spots animals like it's nobody's business. So. He can blood trail really well, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But his pins,
it's all the same color.
It's just pins. So we started first shooting together. I bought a Monster Chill and gave him the sight off because I bought Black Gold dial sight. And I gave him my old Trophy Ridge 5-pin aluminum. That
was a good sight.
Well, he put 2 more pins in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he had 7 pins in a 5-pin sight because we were going to tack.
Oh yeah.
Specifically for tack. Like he's just, putting the arch in archery. He was stacking them, and I'm dying. I'm like, I'm not losing arrows. Still lost arrows.
You always lose arrows. You just got to plan on it.
And I was like, dude, it's this pin. He's like, dude, they're all just pins.
Oh my gosh. So does he count pins? Does he go like down to like, you got to go to fourth pin?
He was having to count pins. He's now shooting because he's got my old VX, but he bought a Halon and then he put the black gold on it. But so I'm like, he's like, dude, they're just bright dots. So he just knows that the color, the yellow is the middle brightness, the green is the brightest, and the red's the dimmest.
Oh, okay.
So that's just how he
still works the same then. And honestly, I mean, like really when I pull up, like with I've got a 3-pin on right now because kind of getting ready for tack season. Like I know it's just the middle pin is pretty much what I always use. So I think even if I was colorblind, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But you got 7 pins on there, it'd be a lot. That'd be rough.
The only shot Jed ever had at an elk was a cow. And we don't know because he was still shooting that same 7-pin sight. I ranged her. I'm pretty certain it read 63. It either read 53, and I told him 63, or it read 63 and he grabbed the wrong pin.
Oh,
because he shot right, like perfect 10-yard mark over her back.
Oh man, dang!
Like it was left and right was money, and just sticking in the tree branch, literally like right above her. It's like, ugh. So we still yet to this day have arguments over did he grab the wrong pin or did I say the wrong number?
Well, he's not here, so we're gonna blame it on him. It was his fault that he shot the wrong pin.
He's not here to defend himself.
That's right. That's exactly right. Oh shoot! Well, Ethan, we better wrap this thing up and let you back to your day. Your dogs are ready to run, man. They're not sleepy anymore. Oh, look at that tail wagging.
They're both bored, and the tail wags. Yes, it's the tail wags.
Hey, well, before we jump off, tell everybody where they can find you, whether it's Red Patch or the classes or whatnot. Give everybody the rundown.
So my personal Instagram is Pateman97. That was my college number from back in my jock days.
Nice.
Red Patch Outdoors we're on Instagram, not super active on Facebook. We have a Facebook account, but just get at me on Instagram. It's so much easier. Then we have 360 Sportsman. So through the 360 Sportsman website, there's a lot of forums and other things that you can have access to for free. We're also on there. We do have a YouTube page, Red Patch Outdoors. Like I said, I'm working on getting that elk hunt up there, and I'm hopefully going to start doing my own little like random thoughts, kind of a tech tip type. Not a tech tip Tuesday, but kind of like just little 15-20 minute thoughts here and there of just to try to change the algorithm and get more stuff out there.
Yeah. Yep.
But just small little tidbits here and there to try to get out. So those are that's
Perfect.
how you find us.
Okay, well, I'll put all that below.
RedPatchOutdoors.com.
That's what I was just going to say.
I forgot that one.
Yeah. Like I said, I was going to put that stuff, and I'll also put a link to Red Patch Outdoors in the description so that everybody can just click on that link and go there and get some stuff. And, man, if you guys aren't watching the video, by the way, you're going to probably miss out a lot on this, especially the first part where we're showing the gear and whatnot. So if you are just listening, I encourage you guys, go on the website, check out this stuff. And then even more importantly, if you guys are going to the expo, stop in. What booth number you guys? Do you have that?
It's not off the top of my head, but we're right next to Peaks.
Okay.
So if you find Peaks or Initial Ascent, we are basically in line with them.
So kind of back around the corner is where they're usually at, back there. So, okay.
Yep, in the back corner. Peaks is in the same spot they were last year. Initial Ascent is in the same spot they were last year.
Okay.
We are where they had the big Baku bikes.
Yeah. Yep.
Big run around. We're the aisle behind.
Okay.
Towards the middle on them. But yeah, find the Peaks booth. You'll find us.
Okay.
Come say hi. Give me shit about saying, well, you said it was this much on the podcast. So.
Yeah, and hold him to it too. He said it was this much, so hold him to it. I'm just kidding.
You do it. You say it on the podcast. I will hold whatever price you tell me because I'll probably forget what I said by then.
Snap. All right, there you go. That's a sweet deal, guys. Because those are some pretty low prices. I don't know if that's just how it is, but those were some pretty low prices. So. Well, cool, man. Hey, and I'm gonna shoot you my number in our chat and Instagram, and I wanna chat with you a little bit more about some archery podcasts, as well as kind of talk to you a little bit about your gear too. So I'll shoot you my number, and we can do some messaging back and forth.
Sounds good, dude. Yeah, let's nerd out because I love it.
Me too, man. Cool. All right, go run those dogs.
Yep. All right. Talk to you later, man.
See you, buddy.
Yep.
See ya. Bye.